Hello and welcome everybody to here on the Sitrep Podcast. I'm your host, Ariskany Jim, and today I am joined by Sitrep 6 himself, Mr. Bill. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you all doing today? Ready to get some rebellion on?
Ready to fight for king and country and the crown and all that stuff.
Oh,
Except my whole army is basically American. This is almost more of a Civil War scenario than an American Revolution
yeah,
scenario.
almost, isn't it?
Yep. Okay. All right, Jen, we've gone ahead and okay, Bill's sound is good. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. So today we're gonna take a break from our ongoing barrage of Gulf War content, 30th anniversary and so on, and we're gonna kind of set the clock back a little bit, and we're gonna look at Kings Mountain. This is a small but important battle in the late period of the American Revolution, or American War of Independence, if you prefer. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this and see if we can change history a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go through the history kind of quickly here because we don't want to bog down the stream too much. But long story short, take your first shot.
Boom, already, Jim?
Hey,
already?
I'm not messing around today. We have the entire American Revolution here on this map. Obviously, we're not going to focus on all of it. Super fast. Things were not going well for the British after 1777, battles of Saratoga, First and Second Freeman Farm, whatever you want to call it. So they weren't doing well in the north. They had the idea that there were a lot more people loyal to the crown in the southern colonies, namely North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia in those days. Florida is still mostly Spanish. So pretty much these three colonies, North and South Carolina and Georgia. They had the idea that there was a lot more loyalists down there, so they shifted their efforts south. There were also reasons dealing with the French and the Caribbean and all this other stuff, but again, we're going to keep it simple. So they shifted their focus here in the south, in the latter part of the war. This is kind of like in Flames of War, you always see early war, mid-war, late war. You have the same kind of thing in the American Revolution. And once it gets to late war American Revolution, almost the whole show is down here in the south. So they landed here at Savannah in 1778 and 79, a big siege. Benjamin Lincoln, biggest surrender of American troops in the American Revolution. It was a big disaster. They then took Charleston, same deal. Yeah, things were not going well at all for the Americans in the South. The British plan seemed to be working. That they were going to be welcomed with a lot more loyalists and pretty much with open arms, loyal to the crown still here in the southern colonies. So, like I said, they won huge victories in Savannah and also in Charleston, and then Cornwallis starts pushing inland. He wins the Battle of Camden. Okay, I'm going to reference a terrible movie here, but please forgive me. If you've ever seen The Patriot...
I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. If you ever see The Patriot, that battle that Heath Ledger is watching through the window and Mel Gibson sneaks up behind him, and he says, "I'm not going back." It's like, "No, I don't expect you would." That's the Battle of Camden. It's one of the few parts of the movie that's even close to historical accurate. I say close. Exploding cannonballs, and I don't even think Tarleton was there. But anyway, it's the closest that
You didn't like that movie, huh, Jim?
That movie is an insult. They literally don't know. They literally don't know how
I take it
to.
as a popcorn movie.
They can't.
Movies you sit...
They can't count to 4. They show the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Heath Ledger joins the Continental Patriots 1776. He then says, the fall of Charleston, it's been a hard 2 years. So between 1776 and 1780, it's apparently 2 years. A movie that can't count, that doesn't know that 2 plus 2 equals 4, doesn't get high marks in my book. But anyway. Also, the battle at the end is supposed to be Cowpens. That's this battle here. Is just a tragedy. It's not even close. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Camden. Camden's actually pretty close. So the Americans get the absolute hell beat out of them at Camden. Humiliating defeat. My least favorite general of the war, the one that stole Saratoga from Benedict Arnold. This is when Benedict Arnold was still a good guy. He was chased off the battlefield so fast his staff couldn't keep up. His staff was trying to keep up with him 200 yards behind on a horse. That was the end of Gates' career, needless to say. Then there was some other battles. Tarleton, he's the main villain. He's the Jason Isaacs character in The Patriot. In The Patriot, they call him Tavington. They were forced to do that because the family of Tarleton actually took that movie to court, took that studio to court for defamation of character. Tarleton, the Butcher Tarleton. That's the American name for him. He used some pretty ruthless tactics. He was engaged in a counterinsurgency war. So, yeah, you always have to be a little bit ruthless on a counterinsurgency war. However, how much of a butcher he really was, there's two sides to that story. So I apologize to British friends in the stream. Enough to where the family of Tarleton still takes issue with the way he's usually presented. But he has just pretty much conducted the, air quotes, massacre at Waxhaws, which is right about here along the North Carolina-South Carolina border. All this goes into today's game. So today's game is going to be at Kings Mountain. This is going to be America's, or I should say the Patriots' first chance to try and reverse this string of defeat. Again, defeat, followed by defeat, followed by defeat, followed by another defeat, followed by a massacre of troops trying to surrender. Things are not going well for the rebels at all down here in South Carolina. They need a battle to turn it around, and they're going to roll the dice today at Kings Mountain, 7 October 1780. So, I understand, Bill, that you've actually been to this battlefield?
Yeah, I visited a couple of years ago, and I have to say it wasn't what I expected for a battlefield in my mind of the War of Independence. It was truly, I would say, guerrilla warfare tactics. It's heavily wooded, it's up a slope. You did have the British/Loyalists on the top of this hill, as Jim has illustrated here in his map. But I just found it amazing that all these Americans, if you will, at this time, fought through the woods and up this hill. But here's what I took away from it. That's American style of combat. We weren't line infantry in the traditional sense, like the British and French and all that of the period. These are a lot of people. These, the rebels were people who were farmers and hunters, and so they're used to being in the woods and fighting like Indians more than anything at the time period. So they really took their fighting style and brought it to the British/Loyalists. So I found that really interesting. And the battlefield itself is not that big. It really isn't when you look at it, the hilltop. So I was rather surprised by it, and it has a definite there's a spirit. I hate that, I'm not a big believer in spirits and all that, but there definitely is this feeling of something big had happened here, So it's very interesting. If you guys ever get a chance to do a battlefield tour or visit one, I would definitely do so. And that's a interesting thing, probably a better word. The U.S., especially in the East and the South, is littered with battlefields of different, wars, Civil War, American War of Independence. You can go out west, and obviously there's American Indian War and stuff like that. So, very interesting to see.
Yeah, like Bill was saying, this is a very small battlefield. Most, what's the word I'm looking for here? Most American Revolutionary War battles are pretty small. The biggest battle in the American Revolution, depending on who you read, is Long Island. That has a grand total of like 25,000 people engaged on both sides. Compare that with things like Waterloo, which had 200,000. Once the Prussians showed up, you got Austerlitz, which was even bigger. I think Leipzig was the biggest of all. It had almost 400,000 people. And then you've got, the massive Battle of Long Island, grand total maybe 25,000, like almost 20 times the size, or 15 times the size. It's a huge disparity. Hexes in this game are only 100 meters, or I should say 100 yards. So if anything, I've sort of overdrawn this map. Kings Mountain is really only about 700 yards along the base. I think I have it here as 8 hexes, so I took a little bit of liberty here just to make the game work a little bit. But yeah, small battlefield. Each piece is about 80 men, so yeah, it's not a huge fight. So yeah, here are the two sides. We have the British, who are commanded by. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. The British are commanded by. Oops, I got these two guys mixed up. Sorry guys, 2-second change here. There we go. Alright, so the British are commanded by a guy named Patrick Ferguson. So Patrick Ferguson is a guy who invented the Ferguson rifle. He saw the success that the Americans were having with the rifles, and Germans were also Crown Germans that were fighting with the British. They had their Jaegers who used a sort of a form of the rifle. They were having great success with it. Of course, we all know about Sharp's rifles in the Napoleonic Wars. This is about 35 years before that, and Ferguson was the guy who first tried to get the British to adopt the rifle. Or to adopt a rifle corps into its army. He wasn't successful. The British were still stuck with the musket, and they were kind of sticking with it. Ferguson, however, is the guy who, by all accounts, had Washington in his gun sights, dead to rights. Damn well should have killed him. We'd have somebody else on our $1 bill right now at the Battle of Brandywine, September 11th, 1777. But he saw this guy. He didn't know who he was, but he saw his uniform, and historians have since compared his description with where he was at what time, where Washington was at that time, and taken the description. It's pretty much agreed. Ferguson could have, should have, would have shot Washington dead out of his saddle almost over a year before this. He chose not to. He thought it would be ungentlemanly, so he didn't do it, and history rolls forward from there. Now Ferguson has been made Inspector General of, he's only a major, but he's been made Inspector of Militia here in South Carolina. So he's in charge of all these other guys. So all these other guys are not British, even though they're in red. They're all Americans. This is almost a Civil War scenario rather than a Revolutionary War scenario. The trained Loyalists that we do have, there are some. They are from upstate New York, I believe. I may not be 100% right about that. One of the Tory legions. That's trained loyalist. Those are the guys to watch out for, Bill. Those are my troops that are actually halfway worth a damn. Everybody else is raw loyalists out of local levies, South Carolina, North Carolina. They're not so hot. I then have DePaster. He's a captain. He's also he's an American from New York. I think he's from Huguenot descent, so he's actually like half Frenchman. Yeah, but pretty much everybody, there's 962 men in the Loyalist force. Every single one of them is an American, actually, except for Ferguson, who is British, although not an Englishman. He's actually a Scotsman. Then we have the Americans, which are all over the place. These are their approximate locations historically as they made their approach. With all of their colonels, there are way too many colonels. But again, American Revolution. Our army was not exactly well organized, to say the least. William Campbell is the actual commander. I put that in air quotes. This is a collection of like 9 different militia companies of about 100 men apiece. And what they did was they sent to their commander, again, they couldn't call Gates because Gates was still running from Camden, but they called guys like Nathaniel Greene, and they were like, please send us a general for this. He couldn't send them a general. He didn't have a spare general. He just lost one of his main generals. So they basically had an election. I mean, that sounds kind of crazy if you've ever been in the military. Imagine voting for your commanding officer. But that's how they did it in the American Revolution. Everything was still very democratic. And then everybody else kind of brought their own little militia companies. So this is not what you would normally see in Battlefield Rebellion. A colonel commanding one piece, that's absurd. But again, American Revolution. You'll never stop amusing me, American Revolution. Just the amount of silliness that's in here. One little bit of trivia I did stumble across while doing research for this battle. On this battlefield, he's not a commander, but he's mixed in with one of these companies, is John Crockett. Davy Crockett's father. He actually was carrying a rifle here on this battlefield. A lot of these men, like Bill was saying before, are what they call over-mountain men. So what that term meant at the time was the Appalachian range kind of goes like this, roughly speaking, in this part of the country. And these are all the lowlands here where most of the colonies were. Some people had pressed further into, western Georgia, what is now Kentucky and even Tennessee. And again, these guys were up against the Creek, they were up against the Chickamauga, they were up against the Cherokee. And there were ongoing border conflicts with, indigenous people there. And again, when the American Revolution started, these men came back to fight the British and the Loyalists. And again, they brought those Indian tactics with them. So we're going to see a little bit of that in today's game. Yes, we already talked about Ferguson. We talked about DePacer. We talked about the American commanders. The American army was actually 1,900 men at the time. at least this particular American army. They were trying to catch Ferguson. He was like 100 miles away at the time, here at Kings Mountain. They had a hell of a time finding him, but they finally found a couple loyalists that flipped, so to speak, and gave up his position. They realized how far away he was. They ditched half their army to make it faster. So they took that 1,900 men. They grabbed the top 900 guys based on what horses they had. They're like, the guys with the best 900 horses fall in, and we are going to haul ass across the backwoods and backcountry of what is today, again, northwestern South Carolina, and we're going to get here to Kings Mountain. It was a hard ride to get there. Again, this is almost entirely forested, as you can see here on this map. We're looking at, it was raining the entire time, and the men had to use their again, like Bill was saying, they're tough guys. They're used to living outdoors. They're used to, farming way out the frontier beyond the frontier. Again, the whole American colonies was basically the frontier to a British way of thinking. These guys were over mountain men. They were over the Appalachians into what was going to become the American interior in future decades. But again, at the time, there was nothing out there. So they just took their coats off, wrapped them around their rifles to keep their locks dry, and they went through this miserable autumn cold. I used to live in South Carolina, man. It gets nasty there in the autumn and winter. Cold and drizzly and rainy and nasty. They toughed their way through it. About noon on October 7th, the rain finally lifted. They dismounted about a mile to the southwest down here, so about 17 hexes away, so obviously off the map. They dismounted. They tied up their horses, and then they did the rest of the march on foot. And here's where the rain actually helped them. Again, the rain had stopped by now, but it made all the leaves dry. And once all the leaves were dry, it was quiet. So the Patriots the Loyalists have no idea that the Patriots are here. This is going to be pretty much a surprise attack. They tied up their horses, they checked their weapons, they hiked the rest of the mountain. There's no real command here. I mean, again, William Campbell is nominally in command, but every force has its own colonel. That's one reason the Americans have so many colonels in this game. The bad news is that these colonels are pretty much just in charge of their own guys, and that's all. And that's reflected in their command diameter. So we've built the army to fit the historical army into the Battlefield Rebellion game. And these rebels are pissed. Again, Camden just happened. The Waxhaws massacres just happened. It's not good. There's not a lot of mercy or quarter going to be given here. I'm not going to spoil how the battle turns out, but it's not pretty. Let's just put it that way. All right. So, again, as far as the whole Waxhaws massacre goes, there's two sides to that story, but I'm just presenting it here to show, like, the rebel mood. This is sort of a grudge mission for the rebels. And since we've chosen to use the historical setup here, we're already set up, and I guess we're ready to get started. So, again,
bring on the butchering.
The whole setup's pretty much already done because we went with the historical setup. So again, Bill's forces are already in position. Here's our turn sequence. We're ready to begin turn 1. Obviously, the Patriots are on the attack, so they'll go first. Let's go ahead and start a new turn sheet. And it's on now. Turn 1. Sweet.
All right.
All right, we'll check on Mr. Chat while we're going here.
Yeah,
happy battle day.
Chat, Jim.
Oh, okay, cool. So Tuffy Ears, I have taken to calling Jim DB Cooper, as I believe I time traveled back to hijack that plane. Tuffy Ears, I wish that was true, because that means I would have about $250,000 in the bank right now, and I would have mastered time travel, which, trust me, I'd have a lot more than $250,000 right now if I had mastered time travel. If I had mastered time travel, we'd go back and we would just live stream the Battle of Kings Mountain as it was happening in real life. Sadly, that's not the case. And Ben Johnson has joined us. Yes, Ben, I was hoping that you would show up for this, because this is right about where he lives. This is really close to where he lives nowadays. This is 1.5 miles south of the North Carolina-South Carolina border. So it's again, Ben's probably already seen this, but we're really close. I won't give away exactly where he lives, but again, it's right there. It's Kings Mountain. Again, these are Tennessee. Nowadays, North Carolina kind of goes like this, and this is actually Tennessee.
Right.
So yeah, the map is 1780 accurate, not today's. Alrighty, so again we're on turn 1, and we're ready to start with your movement phase at your
All right.
convenience. Now, I'm sorry, I should say your command phase. So the shifting you do is you shift formation if you want.
Okay. At this point in time, we are not going to shift formations. They're still in column formation.
Yep.
So at this point, Jim, would you mind zooming in just a skosh for me, please,
Sure.
sir?
On which section of the map?
Right where you are. Yeah. Go down to the bottom of the map.
So
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Campbell's contingent. So the veteran militia.
Yep.
I would like to move them to. So once I'm within 2 hexes of your units, then you activate, correct?
Then I'm allowed to activate. However, I probably can't see anything because you can't see
Right.
through a woods hex.
Okay, perfect then. I would like to move the veteran militia to hex 2316, please. That'll be to your northwest. Perfect. All right, and then I would like to follow with Campbell and put him in 2417 with those units.
Okay. I was going to say you can cover that much distance in line formation, but not with those facing changes. So,
Right.
Yeah, I see now why you're saying in column. Okay, cool. Alrighty.
Okay.
We'll just go ahead and clockwise our way around it.
Yep.
Over here to Survey.
All right.
Survey or Survey? Go ahead.
Sevier.
I think so.
That colonel there and his riflemen, let's drop them down to 2113.
Alrighty.
And then the raw militia, put them in 2213.
Okay, they started off here, but again, the movement rate is 2, but you're in column
2.
formation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I miscounted.
You're correct. When you're in column formation, it's doubled. So 1, 2, 3, that's totally legal.
Okay.
You're faster in column, you're more vulnerable, but you're faster in column formation.
All right. Going up to our riflemen there.
Shelby is basically second in command. Go ahead.
Okay. The riflemen, put them in 2312.
Just let me know if you want me to change their facing. Remember, the facing of the unit is the top of the counter. That's why they're all upside down. They're moving south.
What's the cost of facing again?
When you're in column formation, basically none.
Okay. Can we go ahead and turn them counterclockwise 1 facing? Counterclockwise.
Oh, hello. I knew that.
There you go. All right.
I'm not dyslexic at all. No worries.
Let's go ahead and put Shelby and his unit in 2412. Yep, perfect.
Alrighty. And we have Mr. Cleveland.
All right, let's put Cleveland in 2510. And change their facing 1 click counter. There we go, perfect.
Yeah, of course, commanders have no facing. His raw militia.
2610. And then 1 counter. Yep, perfect.
Mr. William Chronicle with his whole, like, even here he has too many men. I think he commanded like 40 men. So here he has technically 80, but whatever. I'm not going to make subunits, like have partial counters.
3110.
3110, got it. Sidestep down the Colonial Road into the brush. Mr. Winston.
We'll go to 3112.
Yeah, word of warning, a lot of these guys are raw militia, so these are not exactly your strongest guys. Shelby and Campbell are probably your most powerful units.
Let's take that French militia.
Yep.
And put them in 3113, and the facing is fine.
3113. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then move McDowell and said troops up to 3014. 3014.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, because he's going up an elevation line there, but he's got it. Again, in column formation, your movement is doubled. Officers can always move. Officers can always move 6 because they're considered to be mounted. Now I know in normal Battlefield Rebellion, it takes moving through woods takes time, but again, everybody here is militia, both sides. So no one's really using line formation. So again, as long as you're militia, which is everybody on this table, woods don't affect your movement rate. Just in case people watch this later, or Dylan shows up. Dylan says he's going to actually log in with us later on today, but
Excellent.
he was going to look at these movement rates and he's going to be like, "You're not paying the woods rate." I'm like, relax, man. Relax. It's all good. All right, I think that's all your guys have moved.
That's it. That's
All right.
everybody.
Yeah, today's game's not going to be terribly complicated, guys. There's no combat phase because nobody has line of sight on each other yet. Plus we just did the movement phase. That comes after combat. All right, cool. So that ends militia turn, or I should say patriot turn 1. Over to militia turn. You are now within 200 meters of me, or 200 yards. I now know you're there. So I'm now allowed to activate. Am I going to change any formation? I don't think so. So now I go to combat phase. I have no combat phase. I have no line of sight. So then we go to my movement phase. A unit can sidestep 1 if that's all they do. In line formation, all my guys are already in line formation. You can tell by the orientation of the hex. So just for people in the chat, make sure there's no rules questions later. Right now, all of Bill's formations are in column formation because they're facing the top of the counter is against a hex side. That means that this is their front, and they have nice wide flanks. They're basically in like double columns running through the woods. Great for movement, terrible for combat. You are not allowed to attack at all in line formation, period. Or column, whatever you want to call it. I should say column, not line. I'm sorry. When you are in line formation, is the way the Loyalists are here, is when their top of their counter faces a hex point. And now, this is their front, nice wide front. They have narrow flanks, obviously, and a nice wide, rear. So now they're ready for combat. So how the hex is actually sitting how the unit is sitting in the hex not only shows its position, shows its facing, shows its formation. All with how you put the counter in the hex. So what else am I doing here? I'm going to play historically and actually set up oh wait, never mind, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set up a borderline Imperial line here. He is going to pivot 1. Wait, where was he? He's gone that way. I can only pivot 1 and then move 1. That's my whole 2 points of movement. I only have 2 points of movement because I am in line formation. Line formation is a lot slower than obviously column. That's kind of the point. Okay, that's going to be it for my movement phase. Nothing else is going on here. There's no incidental commander fire because no one, again, has line of sight. That's going to end turn 1. So
Boy, that was an exciting turn, wasn't it? Woo.
Well, I see him coming, and now I can kind of adjust my defense a little bit. I'm giving up this objective hex. This is just stupid.
Yeah. You can hear them coming. You can't see them.
Then there are pickets out here. Historically, historically, they got word. The reason I set that at two hexes, 200 yards was their first warning. Cool. So that's going to be it. Okay, we now begin turn 2. Save the game. Check the chat. And cool. All right, back over to you for shift formation.
All right, so let's go ahead and put all my unit. No, I take that back. That would give away my secrets.
Oh no.
Let's start with Sevier.
Okay.
Or Sevier. I don't know. Is he French?
I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna call him Sevier. And if we're mispronouncing it, I apologize to his family.
Let's put them into line formation.
Okay. He has. I'm assuming this way.
Yep.
Okay. Just want to check. Cool. They are now in line formation. Their movement rate is now 2.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move. So that reduces their movement
To 2, and they're right in front of an elevation line, so really their movement is 1. They don't have
Right.
to pay for woods, but they do have to pay for going up a hill.
Right. So let's go ahead and put the raw militia into 2214, so 1 hex directly south. Yep. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and put my riflemen in 2214 as well.
Okay. You are allowed to have 2 counters and a hex.
Yeah, no, 2214 for the riflemen.
No worries. And Servier is with the raw militia or the rifleman?
Rifleman.
Okay.
No, Jim. The rifleman in 2214 with the raw militia.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, that's what I was saying. Yeah. You're allowed to have 2 guys and a hex. Sorry.
Yep. That's all right.
That was kind of what I was suggesting, but then I didn't hear you say that. My bad.
Yep.
Okay, over now to Shelby. Again, nominally the Patriot second in command here.
All right, so let's put my riflemen into line formation.
All right, facing southeast.
Yep.
Okay.
And put them into 2313.
Boom. Okay. I will not take opportunity fire. Because again, combat happens before movement, so you pretty much already... Okay. So my turn's coming up anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
And let's go ahead and move those other... Is that...
that is veteran militia, yeah.
Veterans?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and put them in 214. They're in line formation as well.
Yep.
2413.
Cool. And Shelby's with...
With them.
Okay, cool. Ben Cleveland. Here's a quick hint. He's riding a brown horse for now. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Later in the battle, his horse might be a different color, historically. Veteran militia. He's got veterans and raw militia. Are they both heading... I'm assuming they're both in line, heading southeast?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would like to keep them in column.
Okay.
And I would like to move Colonel Cleveland and his raw militia to 2412.
Concentration of force. Okay, veteran militia.
And then the veteran militia, move them to... You know what? Put them in line.
Okay.
And move them to 2511.
Always the poor guys on the extreme left. That's a Gettysburg reference. They're up against a lot of loyalists on high ground. Okay, over here to Mr. Chronicle. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody.
Let's go ahead and move them in. They're going to stay in columns. Let's move them to 2809.
Chronicle already feels a little better. Because historically he went right up that hillside, and that was the end of Mr. William Chronicle. Spoilers. Right. Okay, Joseph Winston.
All right, can we go down? I want to start with McDowell, please.
Sure.
Let's move McDowell into line formation.
Facing northwest?
Yep, right there.
Cool.
And I'd actually like to sidestep them to 2914 or whatever they can move to their max.
Once they sidestep, that's the best they can do, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead to the next one, the veteran militia. Again, into line and sidestep to 3014. Okay.
Okay.
And Colonel Winston and his raw troops, let's go ahead and put them into line formation, and they're going to stand pat. And that leaves Campbell.
Yep.
We're going to put Campbell's units into line formation. And let's go ahead and advance them to 2315.
Okay.
Campbell will go to 2416. They have a movement of 3, right? But they changed 1. So
yeah, but okay, so
they go to 24-15, right?
easily,
Let's just keep them in 24-16 for right now.
Yeah.
24-16 is fine.
Changing formation is a different phase of the game. It doesn't cost you anything for movement. And then he has a movement rate of 3, yeah, because rifleman. So 1, 2, to advance up a hill, yeah, then starts to cost you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. He can do that. He could technically move into 24-15, but he doesn't have to by any means. All right. Cool. So, okay, that completes movement. And, okay, now we do have some guys in incidental fire. Okay, cool. So, combat phase. Well, the combat phase took place before movement. Interruption fire, melee. Oh, incidental commander losses takes place before movement phase. Okay, never mind. All right, that ends Patriot turn. We now go to Loyalist turn. We're actually going to put some musket smoke on the table. Although probably not very much. Okay, these guys and these guys are both going to go ahead and take their... I'm not going to change any formation, so I go straight into my combat phase.
Okay.
Alright, they're both going to fire on this veteran militia here in the woods.
Okay.
Now, they're pretty crappy militia. They only get 1 dice each. 1 dice each. Okay, does not include artillery, does not include not shaken, not routed. I am shooting downhill. Your resilience goes down by 1. Because I'm shooting downhill on you. However, it goes back up 1 because you are in woods. Are you in braced formation? No. That's why I didn't fire on the rifleman, by the way. Why aren't you shooting at the rifleman, Jim? Because number 1, I only have 1 unit that has line of sight. And number 2, this rifle formation has guys on either wing in a line. He gets a bonus for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why he's not as vulnerable as he looks. So that's why I'm not trying to throw the game here. I'm not shooting at those riflemen for a reason. So, not in fortification. He's in woods, +1.
What is the defender's commander resilience bonus?
That's if you have any generals on the table. Nobody has any generals. Everybody's a militia colonel or a major, so we can ignore that rule for this game. Long story short, I have 2 dice. I'm shooting against your resilience of 4. I have to get a 4 or above on 2 dice to score any hits at all. I definitely cannot kill him. I get 2 3s. No effect.
Woo! Gotta love those, what are they, brown besses that the British were using?
Actually, yeah. Yeah, they were all shooting brown besses. Well, the veteran militia or the trained loyalists these guys are grandpappy shotgun. These are pretty much, they're just like your crappy militia, they're just fighting for the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for these 2 units. I have no line of sight, no line of sight, no line of sight, no line of sight. This guy, 1 dice versus veteran militia. Again, 1 dice versus a 4, +1, -1. And again, no effect. How are those dice showing up on the table, Jen? Are they actually playing? Let me go ahead and do a test thing here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead.
I can see them just fine.
Okay, see, they're not like a slideshow. So if I roll some dice, you actually see them rolling, or let me give it a second for the latency to catch up. Come on. Yeah, they're okay. All right, cool. Sometime, like last week's stream, I had some difficulty with frame rate, but doesn't seem to be happening now. Okay, so that's going to conclude Patriot. Loyalist combat phase. Now we do have incidental commander losses, but yes, Shelby is in range. I think that's it. So this isn't guys aiming at commanders. Only American riflemen can do that. Patriot riflemen can do that. Can deliberately target enemy officers. However, enemy officers can just get knocked down. A random musket ball comes out of the woods and shoots them out of a saddle. Boxcars is wounded. Snake Eyes is a kill. And that's any American commander that is within... there's no artillery on the map anyway. That is in small arms range and line of sight of a potential enemy unit. So right now I think that's only Shelby. So Shelby, we're just going to roll 2 dice for him super fast. 9, no effect. That doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while a random commander goes down. We see it in in these black powder battles all the time. That will conclude my combat phase. We go to my movement phase. No unit that fired can move. I cannot overstack him. He moved, so I can't move him. Okay, that will conclude my movement phase. Melee and counter melee. No one declared any charges, so there's no one to rally. That will conclude Loyalist turn 2. Told you this game was going to go quick. Alright, Patriot turn 3. Oh god. Okay, we start with shift formation.
Let's see, who's not in line at this time?
This guy's not in line. And this guy way up here is not in line. Hey, Chronicle, the war's this way, man. Where are you where are you going? Chronicle's
right.
like, I got a beeline right up to the objective hex, man. What are you talking about?
Let's go ahead and put Chronicle's guys on line formation.
Okay, facing southeast.
Yeah.
Or southwest, I should say. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, his movement rate is now 2.
And then I think that's everybody else is in line, yes? Looks,
yeah,
no,
he's
except
in
for
he's in line.
the guys in 2412, Cleveland's units.
Yep. One of his units, yeah.
Let's go ahead and put them into line formation as well.
Ooh. Oh, I had nobody there in 2512 at the time. I was like, why didn't I shoot at him? Units getting shot at in line formation are great, man. Or I should say column formation.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a unit there. Okay. Alright, that's everybody's changed formation.
Phase. Yep.
We then go to your combat phase. So, you do have some guys in line of sight.
Let's go ahead and take our riflemen in 2313.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and shoot into 2414.
Yeah, are these guys going to join in and help? They can also throw in 2 dice.
Yep, let's do that.
Yeah, so you have a grand total of 4 dice. Okay, so super fast for guys in the chat, because we got some audience members here. All right, how you read these counters. This is their close combat number. Notice, riflemen have no close combat ability at all. You cannot put bayonets on the end of a rifle. So, word of warning. Their close range firepower is 2. Their long range firepower normally drops down to 1, but these are riflemen. And then because they have this little asterisk there, that means they can shoot even further than that. So, the second number is like their close combat, and close combat is 1 hex. Because again, muskets, black powder weapons mostly. Well, they're all black powder, but not all of them are muskets. Oh, sorry, he was in the wrong hex. Sorry. So basically, I have this militia 2 plus this rifleman 2 is going to be 4 dice versus 3. So plus 1 for shooting uphill. So you have to be a 4 up. You get 4 dice. You want
4 dice, 4 ups?
Yep.
Okay.
I give no cover, but you are shooting uphill.
Alright, I got a 1, a 3, and 2 6s.
Okay, so that is 2 successes. 1 hit, the unit is shaken. 2 hits, the unit is routed. 3 units, that's it. The unit is destroyed in place. So that is routed. He now has to immediately move 2 hexes away from the enemy. He takes line formation, or I should say column. I keep getting this two confused. And he cannot attack. He's almost destroyed. In fact, for victory purposes, he is destroyed. The only difference is he might come back, but I doubt it. Because you have to be within command diameter radius of a commander. So he's probably destroyed, but he might rally and come back.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So that's a good start.
Jim, are the guys at 2214 able to fire upon 2414?
Technically, yes. They will take 1 off their number because they're scraping by woods.
Okay.
Yeah, so the arc of fire... Oh, actually, no, sorry. I missed... yeah. So you use the hex spine to show where, like, if fire's coming in at you, whether it's hitting you from the front or the back, or the flank, I should say. When you're actually doing fire, it is a little simpler than that. You actually use the hex rows. So it's, okay, you're talking about these units here, right?
Yes.
Their
correct.
arc of fire is pretty much the 2 hexes right in front of them, like so.
Okay. All right. How about the veteran riflemen in 2315?
Yep. They have arc of fire. The problem there is that they have to shoot through. Oh wait. This is a clear hex, but it's got woods in it. This is a clear hex, but it's got elevation in it. Actually, no. Because they've got intervening terrain on both sides. That's kind of why I pulled out of that hex.
All right.
You've got some fire up here for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and use both of those units to fire on the trained loyalists in 2512.
Okay, you've got 1 plus 2 equals 3 hex, 3 points of fire. I do not get +1 for elevation because I moved off the hill. I do get +1 for woods, so it's the same as before. It's going to be 3 total dice. You have to match a 5 up because these guys are trained. They actually give a shit.
All right. 5 up, you said?
Yep. 4 plus 1 is 5. That's my woods bonus.
I really wish I had a camera right now to show you what I rolled.
Okay.
3 6s.
3 6s destroyed in place. Boom. Nice. That was kind of a risk to come off the mountain like that. I gave it one of my positions, but I thought I could get away with with having the woods cover instead. But cool, no worries. And I'm pretty sure that's it for your fire phase.
Yes,
Everybody else has something in the way.
Yep.
Okay, so far this battle's going pretty much historically. I may not have gone over this in the actual stream, guys. Super fast. Victory conditions. Yes, the British are going to get... I shouldn't say the British. The Loyalists are going to get tabled. They have to. In fact... I keep popping. Sorry about that. In fact, the game requires it. The play continues until, not if, until the Loyalists are tabled. All units are either destroyed or simultaneously routed. So, yeah. Now, it's how many losses Bill takes in the process. So, again, this game, the battle is unfair. The game, I hope, is fair. So I only have to kill a couple of his units to actually score a win in the game. The battle is lost. Like most battles, they're won or lost before they started. That's 90% of battles in history. That's kind of the Achilles heel of historical wargaming. It's
right.
Tough to have a game that is both realistic and fair. Asymmetrical victory conditions are usually your only way. Alright, so that is going to be the end of the Patriot combat phase. We do have Loyalist commanders in gun sights, so we will make an incidental commander loss roll. For Captain DePaster from upstate New York, give me 2d6. We're looking for snake eyes or boxcars.
Alright, Jim.
Yep.
Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. 6 and a 1.
Close, but no, he did not get either killed or wounded. Alright, cool, so that's going to be it for this. Again, that doesn't happen often. Now we go to your movement phase. Anybody that did not shoot can move.
Okay, let's see here. Let's go ahead and move Sevier's troops into 2314.
Okay. I assume they're going to kind of wheel as they do that?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Cool. Oh no! Earthquake in South Carolina. All right. Does it matter to you? Well, that was kind of how they were positioned.
Right. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Just kind of like wheel formation. That's fine.
Technically, the raw militia gets a bonus because they are in the middle of a line. There's an angle in the line, but they are. He's in line formation on his left. He's in line formation on his right. So this is where the game organically sort of rewards you for using Daniel Morgan tactics, which is to put your crappy-ass raw militia with the bad morale, put them right in the middle, where they can't run away.
Right.
They basically get a +1 to their morale. Because they got strong guys on either side. We got this. Oh, wait, way over here on the edge, and there's no one to the left? Yeah. When people start screaming and dying, and there's nobody around you, it's time to run. Alright, so Sevier goes in there with him, I'm assuming?
Yes, please.
Awesome. Alright, Mr. Campbell, your little company has not fired, so you get to move. Veterans and riflemen.
Campbell's company is going to go to 2515. The veterans are going to go to 2415.
Okay. Cool.
No, 2415.
Okay.
For the
sorry.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, it looks like McDowell's guys have not fired.
We're going to sidestep them to 2815.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are 3 scary hexes here. This raw militia over here is a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, so the raw militia sidesteps to, I'm sorry, you said 2815?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. And the veteran militia?
We're going to sidestep them as well to 2914. Yep.
Cool.
Can they go into the same hex? Do they have enough movement to go into the same hex?
No, because they're sidestepping.
No, because they sidestepped. Yeah.
So, now, however, if these raw militia did not move, that would be legal. Yeah. But when you sidestep in line formation, you only get 1 movement point.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a left face, column march, right face again.
Right.
That good old close order drill that you thought you'd never use. You're using it now.
Right.
Alrighty, these 2 units fired. These 2 units fired. I think it's just Winston, all by himself.
He is in line formation. Let's go ahead and have him. Are those raw? Yeah, those are raw.
Yeah.
And that's raw on that side, but you have veterans there. Let's go ahead and move them up to 31. What is that? 3114? What's the hex directly north?
3111.
31.
If they sidestep 1 hex to the right.
Yep.
All right.
And then I think I still have what's his name up north.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Let's have him go down to 2810. Yep. And that's everybody.
Cool. All right, that is the end of movement. No one declared any charges. There's no interruption fire, really, because this guy has line of sight on your guys now, but I don't have arc. Nah, that's fine, because I'm going to have my regular movement phase anyway. Interruption fire is mostly to interrupt a charge. Give somebody a face full of musketry as they're charging you. But cool. All right, that will end Patriot turn 3. We now go to Loyalist turn 3. Oh boy. Alright, change formation. No. Combat phase. Yes. Oh god. Only 1 dice. See, this unit's already kind of shattered. Raw militia, 1 dice. Against veteran militia. Oh god. Oh, King's Mountain. You knew this was going to be a slaughter. I got 1 dice. Let me move my dice tray so I can see my unit here. 1 dice versus... I'm shooting downhill into woods, so again, +1, -1. My target to beat, or to match or beat, is a 4. I need a 4 up.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 4 up. That
Go,
unit
got
is
it.
shaking.
Yep.
Alright, he has to back up 2 hexes. So where do you want to back up to? He has to move 2 hexes away from me.
2417, I guess.
Alright. Actually, that is not true. 1 hex, not 2 hexes. Let me make sure I got that right. Ooh.
1 hex directly
Yep.
backward.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Shift the line formation.
So that special rule that I wrote for the militia is stupid. It's already only 1 hex. I didn't even need that special rule. You know, it's almost like I designed this game. I literally don't know the rules to my own game. All right, cool. So he's shaken. He maintains his facing. He stays in line formation. It's not nearly as bad as routed. He can still fire and defend himself, but he cannot move closer to an enemy unit until he rallies. All right, now, William Campbell, it's up to you. Do you go back with him or not?
Well, doesn't that help with being a morale test?
Well, your morale, you don't get a bonus because no commanders on this table get a bonus. Nobody on either side. Nobody's that good. That would be a plus number under the 3. The 3 is the command diameter, so he can rally anybody up to 3 hexes away.
Oh no, I mean if that's his diameter, we'll keep him right where he is.
Yeah, the only thing that is it's dangerous to leave commanders on their own because if an enemy unit moves into that hex, boom, I own them. Because you know. They're no barbarian heroes in real combat.
Oh well, that's the case. Well, he fired. So
yeah, exactly. He fired, and he's facing the wrong way. I don't think anybody can reach him.
Yeah, no, we'll keep him where he is.
So normally I wouldn't suggest that, but in this case, yeah, it's fine. All right, this guy here is going to take his 1 dice fire against veteran militia again. I need a 4 up. That's a 2, no effect. Raw militia versus veteran militia, 4 up. He is also shaken. 24-11 or 25-10?
Yep, 24-11. Okay.
This is kind of what happened historically. The rebels would go up the hill with rifles, shoot up a bunch of Tories, and then the Tories would charge down with bayonets. And since so many of the rebels were armed with rifles, they couldn't face the bayonet, so they would fall back. And this went on and on and on again. Okay, and that was him. No line of sight, no line of sight. That's fired him. Can't fire him. Cool, that's it for my combat phase. Incidental commander loss, Shelby. I think it's still the only one. Sevier is in line of sight, but not in arc. So Sevier does not have to roll. Campbell has to roll. Alright, so first for Shelby. Get that dice out of there. Shelby. No effect. Campbell. Oh! He heard that one whistle through the air. Like George Washington says in the French and Indian War, I have heard the bullets whistle, and believe me, there is something charming in the sound. Washington was a little crazy sometimes. He got off on hearing bullets whistle over his head. Cool, so that will be it for incidental commanders. Movement phase. Oh, okay, first thing I have to do is... Wait, when do I rally?
End of phase.
Rally is end of phase, so yeah, that unit's gone. Wait a second. You routed him, this guy, last turn, right? On your turn too?
Correct. Yes.
And now it's my turn, but I have to do movement first. So
right.
He rallies 2 more, and now I'm out of command diameter. 1, 2, 3, well, technically 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm behind enemy lines. I'm not going to take that roll. Also, I have to roll, like, I think under a 3. Hold on. There's a modifier for that. I don't think the roll is very good anyway, so I'm not giving away very much. Rally. Okay. Come on, man. Native 2 to their resilience. So a -1. So I have to roll a 2 or less on a d6. Oh, 1. They actually rallied.
Wow. All right.
Now, when you're routed and you rally, you don't go back to good order. You just turn around, resume line formation. You know what? No, I'm behind enemy lines. I'm not going to take that. That's bullshit. The more I think about it, I'll make up a rule for that. If you can't draw a line of sight and you're going through an enemy unit, that's crazy. That's just a rule I'll have to write in at a later time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but that goes right through an enemy unit. That line of sight for the commander. That's where he was. Technically, I am within 4, but that means Ferguson has to send a rider all the way through all these woods behind enemy lines to rally some militia. That's not how it works. Okay, cool. That will take care of my movement phase, because I don't really want to move anybody else. Do I want to conduct any charges? No. Because I'm slowed down by woods. No, I'm not. But that would be like... I would literally massacre myself, so never mind. No melee phase. I just tried the rally. Yeah, never mind. So technically, I'm not allowed to make that rally. He now moves 2 more hexes away. He's going to just... And now he's outside of command radius. He's going to keep routing until he moves off the table, so I just removed him. Okay, and then we'll begin Patriot turn 4. Okay, is anyone changing formation while I check the chat? Rasmus is with us. Hello, Mr. Rasmus. Warperbite, hello. Ben Johnson says, there is a town not far from here in North Carolina called Shelby, North Carolina. I believe there's also a Shelbyville in South Carolina. So Shelby is a big deal in the American Revolution in the Carolinas. I believe there's also a General Shelby or a Colonel Shelby in the American Civil War from around the same area. I don't know if they're related or not. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, those are the kind of names where you get in these, interior, coming up into Appalachian Carolinas. Tough Ears is talking about bagels because reasons. Are you hungry, Tough Ears? Have a snack. It's got to be like past dinner time where you're at, 8 o'clock at night. Okay, so if there's no changing formation, we will go to your fire phase. Oh, God. Oh, dear God. I see what's... Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's why they call it Kings Mountain.
Well...
Yep, I see what's coming. The old expression,
okay,
we're rolling up the enemy line.
Yeah.
Okay, so wherever you want to start.
We'll start with Sevier's, guys.
Alright, Sevier is on the high ground. He's no longer shooting uphill. He takes no bonus for that. Or no penalty for that. He's going to fire directly into the flank of those raw militia. Oh God, they only have a resilience of 3. No bonus for cover, no bonus for elevation, and they're taking fire from the flank. So I think that knocks them down to a 2. So you have to beat a 2 up, and you have 1 dice, 2 dice, 3 dice. Oh, now here's something I might have forgotten earlier. Whenever you have riflemen, they automatically reduce enemy resilience by 1.
Oh. Yeah, you forgot that, Jim.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's not because they're more accurate. Well, it's because they're more accurate. But that's already baked into their combat value and their extended range because riflemen shoot at lieutenants and sergeants first. Again, these are units of 80 men. This is not a skirmish game. So when a unit is destroyed, it's disorder beyond repair, and you do that by knocking out the platoon leaders, the squad leaders, your NCOs and your junior officers. So, good grief. A 1 is always a miss. I think his resilience between flanking fire and rifle fire is reduced from 3 to 2 to 1, so you have to beat a 1. A 1 is always a miss. But you get 3 dice. You have to try to not roll 1s.
You want to turn on my camera there, sir, so we can show? I got my camera hooked up.
Let me
You're able to?
see if... Give me a second here. Okay. I'm already sharing my screen. What the heck? I'm seeing your name, but I'm not seeing a camera.
Oh, that's because I have to turn it on because I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
Okay, now I see the dice box. There we go.
All right, perfect. All right, so we need 1-ups on 3 dice.
Yep.
5, 3, and a 6.
Cool. Destroyed in place. 1 unit or 1 hit shaken, 2 hits routed, 3 hits. Never mind. They're done. Kaboom. Okay.
Okay. How about are those raw militia under Shelby? I can't remember which.
Shelby has veterans. No, veterans and riflemen. Again, Shelby's your second most powerful guy. Okay. So he has 2 of the better units. Veterans there. These are veterans. These are riflemen.
I'd like to take on the gentleman in 2513, please.
Okay. 2 dice. You are shooting uphill. Becomes a 3.
Do I get the bonus because they're in line with other units?
No, that's a defensive bonus only. And also you have nobody here in 2512.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if the ones in 25, whatever. That's fine. All right, so 2 dice.
Yep, 2 for short range militia fire. 3 plus 1 minus 1. Yeah, stays at a 3.
All right, 2 dice at 3. A 3 and a 5.
Okay, so that's 2 hits. They are routed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened historically. This little spur fell like almost immediately. Oh no!
Well, that leaves gentlemen in 2515 to shoot at 2615.
2515.
My riflemen down.
Yep.
Right there. To shoot
Oh
at
yeah.
2615.
That is true. Because they haven't fired yet, and they had no line of sight until these guys ran in front of them. Cool.
Right.
So as they're running through the woods panic, they just start getting shot down like dogs. Retreat like fleeing deer. They spooked him and they ran into the riflemen. Oh god. Jesus. Flanking fire, riflemen, and on the flank is -1, -2, -3, -4. The resilience is technically -1. So as long as you can beat a -1, but in all seriousness, a 1 is always a miss. So take 2 dice and try not to roll a 1. Basically, Snake Eyes is the only thing that can save him.
I have a 1 and a 4.
Okay, the 4 kills him. Again, he's already routed, so one more shot will take care of him. Thank you for keeping my battlefield neat.
I think that's all I can shoot at this time.
Yeah, nobody else has line of sight yet.
Yeah.
Okay, we then go to your movement phase.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move McDowell's troops.
Okay.
To 2715. Sidestepping. Oh no, stop. I'm sorry. My bad. The guys in 2914, move them to the hex with the other troops.
Okay. Consolidate the
And
company.
that'll be that movement.
All right, no worries. How about Mr. Winston?
We're gonna move them to. Now, they're not sidestepping, so can they go to 2910?
Yes. As long as they don't change facing.
All right. Well, we can do that next turn. That's fine.
All right.
Now if let's see, they fired. I'm trying to see who fired. They fired. The guys, I have to rally them before they can move, right? The shaken ones?
They can move, they just can't move closer to the enemy.
Okay, well then that's all I can do right now because everybody else is fired and everything else is moved.
I don't think Chronicle's moved yet.
I want to keep them worried.
Okay, no worries. Right. In that case, I don't think you fired that raw militia.
Oh no, I did not.
Okay.
So if they move forward one and then do a facing move, that's allowed at this point.
Yeah, they can move forward, but their movement is only 1 hex. And again, that creek doesn't count, so they could move 1 and then pivot 1. And that's basically their second point of movement. They get 2 points of movement. That's what
I'd like to do.
Yep.
That's what I like to do. And we can keep Cleveland right where he's at.
Okay, leave him back there. No worries.
Yep. And that's it. I'm not going to do any charges.
All right. Cool. Oh, we never rolled for DePaster's incidental fire.
Yeah,
All right, roll 2d6.
Okay. A 5 and a 1.
Okay, no worries there. Alright, we're done with movement. It's time to try to rally some people. Okay, so to rally, you have to get, I believe you have to get, hold on, either on or under. Come on. How is that not right there under the command rules? Who wrote these? Who wrote these stupid rules? It's probably here. I just went right by it.
Erasmus says, "Look at me, Ma, king of the hill."
Shaking unit that succeeds goes back to good order, right?
And your brother Ben, that's going to be a slaughter to the west.
Oh, totally. It already has been. Yeah, that may be from a few minutes ago. Come on. All right, well, it's got to be on or under. Yeah. So yeah, 4 down to round. Oops, went to the right tab. 4 down to try to rally this militia. He is within command radius of William Campbell. William Campbell, if he were an actual trained colonel, might have a +1 or a plus. Well, really, nobody has a +2. Guys like Washington have a +2, or Benedict Arnold has a +2. There are very, very few +2s in this game. But he has a +0. He's got a dash there under the 3. So to try and rally him, you just have to roll a 4 or under on this veteran militia.
4 or under?
4 or under, yep.
4.
4, he made it. He is now no longer shaken. And you have one more shaken unit, this guy here. Again, he's within command radius, easy of Ben Cleveland. Ben says, "God damn it, turn around and get back in the fight." 4 or less.
1.
Got it. Again, it's 4 or less because it's based on your resilience. The higher your resilience, the easier it is to rally. Okay. I just couldn't remember if it was on or under, but I'm assuming it's on. Alrighty, so that will be...
well, you wrote the rules. You can make them whatever you want.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to already know this stuff. Cool. We'll now begin... Oh, wait, that's the end of the rebel turn. We now go to the crown turn.
Yep.
Okay. Change formation. Is anyone changing formation? The answer is no. Okay, I don't go to fire. No, that's a short answer. I have no one that can either see or has arc of fire. I have line of sight, but not arc of fire. Okay, going to my movement. One point. Whoa! I didn't mean for that to happen. I suddenly got reinforcements. Okay, there we go. Kind of desperate here, guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you're going to have 1 dice of interruption fire. I'm assuming you're going to take it because you're about to be charged.
Yes.
All right, cool. So it's only 1 dice. It's your crappy militia versus my crappy militia. It's 1 dice, and you need to get a 3-up.
Okay.
Oh, let me be fair.
Die.
There we go.
Here we go. A 5.
All right, cool. So that is 1 shaken, because that's 1 hit.
Yep.
We'll go back here. Okay, now I have 1 dice only left because the shaking guy does not get to participate in the charge. 1 dice only. Your resilience is 3. You are in woods. It goes up to 4. It's an infantry charge. Goes back down to 2. No, sorry, goes back down to 3. And I've got a commander going in with the charge. It goes back down to 2. So I only have 1 dice, but I need to get a 2 up. I did get a 2 up. You are ejected out of that hex. So it's only 1 hit, so you're only shaken. You have to back up 1 hex.
Okay. Put him into Cleveland's hex, if you would, please.
Alrighty. To continue my movement. 1, 2, 3. You know, I should have had DePester take that charge instead of Ferguson, but oh well, no worries. Oh, and we own that hex, which may not be a good thing. Alrighty. That guy is the one that's shaking. Cool. Alright, that'll be it for my turn. I do have some... Oh, we did have some... Wait. From where my starting positions, I had no Patriot commanders within gunfire, so no incidental commander fire this turn. Cool. And that's going to be it for... Oh, I can try to rally. Okay, I have to get on or under a 3. 3 down to rally that shaken unit. Come on, do it. Sweet. He's no longer shaken.
Nice job.
Alright, and that now concludes Loyalist turn 4. Yeah, this game is going to be one-sided as hell. Alrighty. But again, it's Kings Mountain. This is kind of how it's supposed to turn out. Okay, over to you to change formation, if at all.
Let's go ahead and change formation in 2413.
2413. Okay, cool. He's in line. He doesn't want to be in line anymore. He wants to go to column.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was
yeah.
facing.
Yeah, change facing is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everybody else is good.
All right,
Yeah,
and we go to fire phase.
I don't think I have anybody that can actually shoot.
Actually, right now, at the moment, no. There's a lull in the fighting, a lull in the firing.
Yeah.
This shaken guy can defend himself. He is frontal arc on these raw militia here.
Well, let's give it a shot. See what happens.
Okay, 1 dice. You are shaken. That doesn't matter, I don't think. That only gives you a negative on your defense. Oh, it is for shaken. Sorry, -1 if if the target is shaken. Sorry. Okay, cool. So I get +1 for being in woods. That's the only difference. You have to get a 4. You have to get a 4 up on 1 dice.
4 up.
Yep.
All right, here we go. I got a 6.
Cool. He shaken, so he will fall back. Ferguson will go with him. I'll choose that hex. Shaken. Again, that's exactly what was happening historically. Up and down these slopes. Charge and countercharge. Get that out of the way. Alright, cool. Okay, then we go to your... before we forget, like I always do, incidental commander phase. 1, 2, 3. Technically the... no, because he's got elevation in the way. No. It doesn't look like any... wait a second. Yep. Shaken to Ferguson. Yes.
The other guys can't shoot? Seviers can't shoot because they're in higher elevation?
Seviers are on... Okay, here's the deal with Sevier. Who you're trying to shoot at these guys over here?
Yeah.
They're at an elevation 3 hex, and there's an elevation 3 hex between them, then it drops off. So it's like trying to shoot down through a table edge.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
However, this guy is shooting. Well, he's blocked by woods. Oh, he's blocked by woods. Never mind.
Yep.
No, there's no enemy commander within arc. Arc is like this. I'm just checking, double checking. Okay, cool. So we'll skip past that, and we'll go on now to your movement phase.
All right. Okay, so we'll start with the veteran militia in 2411.
Veteran militia in 2411. Got it.
Let's go ahead and move them up to 2512.
All right. That's the limit of their movement.
Yep.
All right.
Let's go ahead and move Sevier's troops up to 2414, and that should give them range on everybody.
Yeah, because now 2513 is beneath them, so they can shoot off the high ground into that little saddle that's in the slope there.
Let's go ahead and move is that raw militia or no riflemen in 2313.
Yep.
Can we sidestep into the next hex, please?
Sure.
And can we change their facing?
No, because when they did that sidestep, that's literally all they can do. Tell you what they can do though, they can do facing change first, and then just move one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the guys that were already in there, they can stay at that other facing if they want. You can have.
No, I'd rather change. I'd rather turn them one.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Let's go ahead and move the riflemen up in 2515.
Yep.
Let's move them up to 2414. That should give them line of sight.
2414.
No, 2514. Sorry,
okay.
2514.
They're still off the side of the hill. So right now they don't have line of sight on anything. Let me get Ferguson out of the way there. Yeah, there's that elevation line right in front of them.
All right, can they move up to 2515?
One, because they're militia. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
But then they have to stick with that facing. All right.
That's fine. And let's move Campbell up to 2514. And then the veteran militia below them, they're not shaken, are they?
Nope, you rallied them.
I can't see. Okay. All right, can they move up to Campbell's hex?
Yep.
Okay. And then let's have who was that? McDowell and his troops.
Yep.
Can they go? That's a sidestep.
2715, 2914 are sidesteps.
Yeah, I'm just.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. Let's go ahead and have them move. Let's see, is that raw militia? But they're in line, so let's have them go to 2715. Sidestep to 2715.
Okay, so this whole hex is going to sidestep into 2715?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're going to have Chronicles team move into 2611. And are they able to have enough movement point? Can they do a facing change?
No, because they moved 2 hexes.
Let's move them back 1 and then do a facing change. 2710 and then facing change. Towards the enemy, yep.
Wise move. The pacer got excited there for a second.
And then let's go ahead and move Winston into 2811 and do a facing change. And I think that's everything I can move. Rally, because I'm not going to do any charges unless you're
Well, no, you would have to already have declared it. To get a
Yeah.
charge, you have to be able to enter the enemy hex.
Yeah. So
All
there's
right.
something I can do charge-wise.
So, yeah, you have a raw militia. You have to get a 3 down on 1d6.
Okay. I got a 4.
They remain shaken.
Okay.
Because they're raw militia. If they were Continentals, they would have rallied by now. But
Right.
okay, over now to the Patriots or to the Loyalist turn. Turn 5. Okay, this game is pretty much lost. Well, the battle was already lost. I expected to lose the battle, but I wanted to see if I could win the game.
How many turns are we playing, Jim?
It's
Is this,
unlimited.
Oh, okay.
It's unlimited because I actually thought about that last night. Yeah, Ferguson was sending for support from Cornwallis. Cornwallis had pneumonia and was hundreds of miles away. Tavington, or Tarleton was his historical name. Tarleton was also sick, and he asked for the Tory commander, I can't remember his name, over at the fort at 98, South Carolina. That was the name of the fort, the 98, and he had already told him flat out no. So yeah, there's no help coming, and the battle started. Again, they dismounted at noon, and they had like a mile to go. So the battle started at like 1:30. So it's a long time till sundown. A turn is 10 minutes. So I actually thought about it last night, and yeah, there's no turn limit. It has to go until number one, until we get tired of it. But in game terms, it has to go until the Tories are tabled, and then it's just down to how many, if any, Patriot units are lost, not including commanders. Commanders don't count. Okay, so change formations. No one's changing formation. Fire phase. No fire phase. Movement phase. I think this game is well over half over. In fact, I'm about to put myself out of my misery here.
Ooh, a charge.
Yeah, 2 of them. Here I go. So get ready for some interruption fire.
Yep.
And then I know there's 3 hexes in it. Well, you know what? Let me wait until opportunity fire or interruption fire, which I'm assuming you are taking here with your raw militia
Yes,
and
sir.
veteran militia. Okay, cool. You got a total of 3 dice. You're not shooting uphill, but you are shooting into woods. So are you targeting the raw militia or the trained loyalists?
Well, I would think the trained loyalists would probably be the wiser move.
All right, now your number required is a 5 up because I am in woods. Total of 3 dice.
5 up.
Yep, 4 plus 1 for woods.
4, 4, and a 1.
No success. So that took no damage. Now the charge actually hits. Thank you, Woods. 1 and 2 is 3 total dice. Oh, sorry. I am going in there with a commander, so okay. I'm going for the raw militia. I gotta at least knock down 1 unit. I have to fight everyone in the hex, but I'm putting hits against the raw militia first. So the militia is 3, as resilience. My target number goes up to a 4 for woods, back down to a 3 for infantry charge, down to a 2 for enemy commander with the charge. When you send your guy in there with his saber drawn, the men are a little bit more aggressive. So my target winds up being a 2. 3 total dice. There we go. So that is 3 hits on a raw militia. That is 1 Patriot unit killed. Now, what we'll do, this is the first time we've actually had this, we have what's called continuing melee. And I'll figure that out in just a second, because I didn't kill everybody in the hex, obviously. So that hex is a wild, wild spot at the moment. Okay. The other charge is going here. 1, 2.
Are they able to charge if they're shaken?
Oh, shit. Sorry. You are absolutely correct. Damn it. Sorry. No, you're absolutely right. You cannot charge from shaken. I saw that flank in front of me and I got all excited. Okay, sorry. Well, I guess what I meant to... Nope, he has to do a facing change. That's not legal. Okay, I can charge, but it won't be great. It'll only be 1 unit. Because he's shaken. You're absolutely correct about that. Thanks for the correction. And this guy's in good order, but he's facing the wrong way. Let me straighten out his counter there a little bit. Yeah, I have to do a facing change and then move, and that's not legal. Again, you have to be able to get into the enemy's hex. So for this guy, it would be 1 facing change, his second movement point. He doesn't have the third movement point to actually get into your hex. So he's not doing that. Ferguson's going in there with him, but it's only going to be the 1 unit. Because, hello dummy, this guy is shaken. Okay. And there's the good news for me is that I was about to say there's no opportunity fire, but these riflemen can take opportunity fire if they want. They'll have to take they'll take a -1 because they're scraping by these woods.
That's fine. We'll go ahead and take it.
All right, cool. So even though it's 2 dice, even though it's 2 hexes, you still get 2 dice because hello rifleman. That's that second number 2 with a star by it. So you still get 2 dice. My resilience starts off at a 3. I believe that's raw militia, right? Come on. Yes. My resilience starts off at a 3, goes up to a 4 because of scraping fire, goes back down to a 3 because of flanking fire, goes back down to a 2 because of riflemen. So 2 dice against the 2.
2?
Yeah.
Dice.
This was a dumb move. I thought I had more units to send in here.
I got a 6 and a 1.
Okay, so that is he got that far and then he took damage and he has to fall back and basically start over. You broke up the charge. Now the only thing is that on your turn you don't get to shoot those riflemen because you took opportunity fire. Ferguson goes back with him. And he is shaken, and don't forget this time. Oh my god! Okay, that's it for my charges, such as they were. This one down here went okay. Alright, now. Conduct charges, interruption fire if applicable, melee and counter melee. Okay, the unit that's left now gets the counter melee.
Okay.
Now the difference is, again for people in the chat who might be wondering, does counter melee simultaneous with regular fire or not? It depends on whether or not you took opportunity fire. If you did not take opportunity fire, then counter melee is simultaneous with the charger's melee. Sometimes if you have Hessian Grenadiers, British Grenadiers, Iroquois Indians, you will deliberately withhold opportunity fire because when the enemy's charging you, you take out the tomahawk and you say, "Oh, son of a bitch, come bring it. We're gonna do this old school, you know." Then melee is simultaneous. If you take opportunity fire, you still get counter melee, but it's assessed after my charge damage, which again, my charge damage has already happened. It took out this raw militia unit. So now you get 2 dice. That's the first number, close combat. Close combat, you get 2 dice, and who are you attacking? You're attacking the... Damn it, stop moving the world. Are you attacking the raw militia or the trained loyalists?
Let's go with the raw militia.
Okay, so 2 dice against a 4.
Okay.
Because I'm in woods.
A 6 and a 2.
Okay, so that's 1 success. He got ejected back out of the hex and he's shaken. The pacer could stay with the trained loyalists or with the raw militia. I'll stay with the trained loyalists. So we're having our own little smackdown event here in Hex 2715. And these guys are also shaken. Okay, over to my rally phase.
So does that end the melee, or do they keep fighting until one unit
They're
displaces from?
They're going to keep fighting through future turns.
Oh, okay.
I think. This happens so infrequently. Continuing melees. Making... Oh yeah, continuing melee is resolved in the very next combat phase. That fight continues through subsequent turns.
Okay.
Cool. It's different in Sitrep skirmish, because it's only like 3 or 4 guys versus 2 or 3 guys.
Sure.
This is 80 guys versus 80 guys.
Sure.
That's the difference for the rules there. Okay, so now I'm going to try to rally some fools. First, 27-14. I keep with the pop. Damn, sorry about that. 27-14. He needs a 3 down. He succeeds.
Yep, got it.
This raw militia needs a 3 down. He fails. He stays shaken. This raw militia up here in Ferguson Sykes needs a 3 down. He succeeds. Alright, so I've killed 1 Patriot unit. Victory is still possible for the Continentals. They now cannot lose anyone else. If he tables me and I wind up with 2 Continental unit, or not Continentals, 2 Patriot units destroyed, that's a draw. And the reason that's a draw, that is the exact outcome. The Loyalists tabled, and the Patriots lost like 27 killed and like 60 something wounded. Basically 2 units worth of guys. Because when a unit gets destroyed, not everyone's destroyed in the hex.
Right.
Alright, cool. Guys run away and surrender or who knows what. Alright, so that concludes turn 5. And I will catch up with the chat. Alright, cool. We'll begin with your changing formation. Not 3
no
charges. That also explains why 29-12 can't charge. Yeah, okay, so Rasmus is asking questions about my charge distinctions. Yeah, I did make a blatant mistake with that shaking unit, and then 29-12 couldn't charge, at least not with both units, because one was facing the wrong way. So, yeah. I could have charged straight northwards into either Chronicles or Winston's guys, but unless I could do that with both guys. Charging with 1 unit, as we just saw, charging with 1 unit is kind of stupid. You have to charge with at least 2, if not 3, 4, 5 units, and that's where you start getting bonuses. Cool. And it's always good to have a commander with them, especially if your troops are poor, like mine are. If you're trying to charge troops that have a resilience higher than yours and you don't have a commander, you have to make an activation check, which is basically make a morale check, and half the time you fail that. If you get like raw American Minutemen, and you tell them to charge those Hessian Grenadiers, or those British Light Infantry, they say, sir, with respect, go screw yourself. Yeah. Alrighty, so, we're all caught up here on Mr. Chat. Just done my home COVID-19 test, says Tuffy Ears. I won't eat for a while, so I had to, oh no, how far I had to shove the swab in. Oh man, Tuffy Ears, I hope everything's okay.
Hopefully it wasn't the new Chinese anal swab.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, they call it, even though it's more accurate, they call it the number 2 test. The jokes they were saying. Ben, has the horse changed color yet? No, the horse has not changed color yet. The horse changes color after the battle, assuming it happens the way it would, which I'm pretty sure it will. Ben, we will answer that question at the end of the stream. Okay, so, yep, it's over to your change formation phase, if any.
Nope, no change in formation.
We go now to your fire phase.
Yes. So in the fire phase, 25-12 is going to shoot into 26-13.
Cool. Or the rifleman go? Oh, the rifleman can't because he took opportunity
Right,
fire.
rifleman
Cool.
cannot.
So we got 2 dice versus a shaken unit. I have nothing. You're on this. Ooh, you are shooting uphill. You are shooting uphill. However, I'm in the open and I'm shaken. So I get +1 because I'm uphill, -1 for shaken. And there was one other thing. Oh no, that's
open.
it. Yeah, I'm in open, so I get no bonuses. It's not a rifle. That's what I was thinking. I was looking for rifle fire.
Yeah,
all right, so you have to roll a 3 up.
Okay. On 2 dice.
2 dice, yep, because you're point blank.
A 5 and a 1.
A 5 and a 1. Okay, so that's 1 hit. However, he's already shaken, which means 1 hit now puts him to routed. So he immediately assumes a column formation and has to move 2 hexes away at maximum, or 2 hexes the most direct away from the attacking unit. I basically get 1 chance to rally him, because again, Ferguson's right there. DePaster's right there. Okay, I might be able to rally him. Alright, cool. So that's him shot.
Alright, so Sevier's troops. Boy, there's a lot of smoke there.
Oh, yeah.
Sevier's troops are going to fire.
Okay, now some of Sevier's troops are out of range. His riflemen, however, are in range. So the range is always 1 for close range, 2 for long range. Again, 200 yards with a musket. That's hella long range. These riflemen that have the star next to their long range number means that they can shoot to 3. They get 1 dice out to 3 hexes.
Okay.
So he does have line of sight on this flank raw militia guy if he wants. 3 hexes away. He's only got 1 dice, but it would be rifleman and it would be in the flank.
Can they see the raw militia in 2714, or are they in the woods, can't see them?
There is a wood. No, they're in wood. You can shoot into woods. The problem with that line of sight is this hex, 2514. You can shoot into a woods hex, you can shoot out of a woods hex, you cannot shoot through a woods hex.
Okay.
So center dot to center dot, yeah, you're shooting through a woods hex.
Let's go ahead and try and hit those raw militia on the hill then with the 2 riflemen. They're fabled.
1 and 2. This guy is blocked by that woods hex there. The northern guy. The southern guy definitely can. Oh, shit, this guy. Did you mean this guy?
No, that one already fired.
Okay, that's right.
All the ones in line.
Yeah, you already said. I already knew that. I keep forgetting about that opportunity. You're being very nice, by the way. You could totally say, "Oh yeah, you can go ahead and fire." Yeah. So the northern rifleman there, he is blocked by this woods hex here. Oh, yeah, by that woods hex. So he cannot. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's not. The enemy kind of got destroyed on that.
That's fine.
Western part of the battlefield. There's not a lot of line of sight.
That's fine. We'll just shoot the 1 rifleman then.
Okay, 1 dice. You have to beat a 1.
I got a 5.
Cool. That is 1 hit. He's now shaken. He cannot move closer to the enemy. He's currently 2 hexes away from the enemy. So I'll move 1 hex back from you, and I'm still 2 hexes away from the closest enemy unit. So that's technically legal. And that's him fired. And I think that's it, except for this continuing melee. So combat phase. Apply damage. Continue ongoing melees if any. Yes, there is an ongoing melee. Now nobody is charged. We're already locked up in a bayonet battle. So down here it's definitely considered simultaneous. It's 2 equal units. We both have commanders. We both have 2 dice. We both have 4 resilience. We're both in woods. It's a good old-fashioned tomahawk battle down there in the woods versus trained loyalists and veteran militia. The Civil War, the prequel. 2 dice against your 4 becomes a 5. I got 1 hit. And then over to you.
You got a 6 and a 4.
All right, you got 1 hit on me because I'm also a 5. So basically we're both shaken. I fall back 1 hex, and you fall back 1 hex because we both scored 1 hit on each other. So do you fall into 26-17 or 28-16? Sorry,
26-16.
26-16. Like so down here.
26-16.
You can't move sideways.
Oh, I can't move sideways, so then 27-16, yep.
Alright. What I was saying before is you can go back this way or that way. But
yep, no, that's fine.
I think I miscalled the hex number. Alrighty, I believe that's it for combat phase, except enemy commander in range and line of sight. So, because of riflemen, roll 2d6 for Ferguson.
1-3.
Ooh, that was close. I think that's it, because he is now, no, over the other side of the ridge. Cool. Alright, your movement phase.
Alright. So, Campbell.
Yep.
We're going to move them 26-14.
Okay.
And do a facing change.
Oh, that's not good.
Cleveland.
Next turn's going to be bad. Cleveland is... There he is.
Right there.
Ben Cleveland.
His units can move up to 25-12, is that?
Easily. He actually has one more movement point if he wants it.
Oh, he does?
Sorry,
No.
you were right, because he'll be moving up a hill.
Right.
So his next movement would cost him 2 points.
Right.
Oh, crap. Wasn't this guy also shaken?
Yes.
So he can't move closer to the enemy.
Okay, then that's fine.
Alright.
Let's move Shelby's
Yep.
unit. Move them into... What's the stack limit in a hex?
The stacking limit is 2, not including commanders, when you're done moving. So you can, like these 3 units, I think I understand the nature of your question. If I don't, tell me. Can move into that hex. Technically there's 3, but then he can move into 26 if he wants. As long as you don't end up with more than 2 infantry units in a hex.
Okay. Can we move them to 26-13, please?
Yep.
And then Sevier's. Now the riflemen fired, but the other militia did not.
Yeah, we're out of
so
range.
can they move into 26-14 as well?
Yep.
And then Chronicles.
Yep.
27-11.
2 points, moving up a hill, but he's got it.
Now here's the question: can you have 2 officers in the same hex?
Yes. Officers, you already do down here. Officers technically stack up
yeah.
to 6, but that never comes up.
So can we move Winston into 27-11 as well?
Along with his unit, certainly.
Yep.
So 1, and then I'm assuming he doesn't have to pivot.
Please.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's totally illegal hex. Yep.
Okay. I think that's all the movement I can do. I don't have anything I can charge with because I didn't have enough movement points. There's no melee.
Veteran militia in 25-12. And riflemen, now they have no hex, yeah. So veteran militia in 25-12 can do a facing change and move it to 26-12 if they want.
Yep, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was getting confused. I couldn't remember who fired not because there's all that smoke, so it was hard to keep track.
I'm pretty sure the only shot you really had was that one long-range rifle shot.
It was. You're right now that you say that. You're right. Okay.
And technically these riflemen can pivot.
Okay.
All the hexes in front of them are maxed, but...
We can pivot.
Oh man, look at those linear tactics. Bill, I'm proud of you. Someone's been paying attention to Black Powder games, and also my guys are all on the flank. You're right behind these guys. The next Patriot fire phase is going to be ugly. Okay, cool.
All right, I think that's all I can do. So, rally phase.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of rallies. Wow, 2 rallies. Cool. So first, this shaking guy up here needs is that raw? You need a 3 down. 1, 2, or a 3.
4.
Cool. This guy here needs a 4 down because he's a veteran.
6.
Oh no. All right. Crown turn. Fire phase. Oh god. Yes, if you don't mind, I'll take a fire phase. With my whole 1 dice. My entire army is facing the wrong way. Alright, he'll take 1 dice. I'll get on some hopefully raw militia. Oh my god, Shelby, what are you doing to me? Oh, Shelby. I don't know if you, yeah, great deployment, seriously. Veterans, riflemen with guys on both flanks, so his resilience starts at a 5. Because he's obviously elite troops, and he's done a perfect, oh man, that's a solid. This is what Gaz did to you last time.
Yep.
Yep, this is it right here. Cool. Oh man, alright. I got 1 dice. Alright, I'm going to try and pick the wing off this dude.
Alright.
Or should I try and fall back? You know what? I will not fire.
Okay. You want to charge?
Yay! Ferguson's like, nah, guys. What the hell? Alright, so, yeah, I'm just going to go straight to movement phase. 1 hex to the rear. Now these guys are going to pivot 1 hex and then move. Ferguson is trying to put together some sort of last stand here. This guy can't because it will stack his hex. He's shaken. He will about face, and that's his movement. Or, hold on. Make a 1. Yeah, I'm just going to make a one thing change. This guy is going to go ahead, and he's not moving closer to the enemy, so his movement's okay. He's going to do his 1 hex, or he's going to do his facing change, and then that's all of his turn. Damn it! I can't do anything with him. Actually, he has to continue to route. 1, 2. He cannot move closer to the enemy. That's okay. I don't want him to move closer to the enemy. And that's going to be it for my movement. Now, rally phase. 3 down. Nope. This guy here, 4 down. Hell no. Oh man. Routed, I am in 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's no enemy units between us. I need a 2 down. -1 because he's routed. Alright.
Oh, got it.
Actually turned him around this time. So he resumes line formation. Basically, the unit reforms, but he's now shaken. A routed unit rallies to shaken. A shaken unit rallies to good order. And that's going to be my turn. We do, however, 1, 2, 3. We have a lot of commanders that can go down. Okay, so first, I'm just going to go from south to north. Sevier. Cool. I shot his hat off. Campbell. Ooh, he almost got wounded. Or no, killed, sorry. Shelby. Another close call. Chronicle. Come on, man. Give me one. Give me. Come on, Chronicle. You died historically. So, die on the game. Nope. He's good. Joseph Winston. Nope. I think that's it. Cool. That will be it for the Loyalist turn. I failed my rallies. I made 1 rally. Done my movement, took no fire, no charges. Cool. Patriot turn 7. Alrighty. Ferguson is going down to rifles would be ironic. Yes it would. Ferguson, this is what you get for not taking that shot at Brandywine. America's first, September 11th. That's the battle that should have cost us the war. Well, actually, we start off with number 1, formation change. I assume you want no formation change?
No.
Just checking. Combat. Shooting.
Shooting?
Yep.
Oh, I think we got a few things we can shoot at.
Oh, yes, you do.
shall we start at the top, sir?
Yep.
Shooting uphill. So that's going to give me a -1.
Yep. But that's it, because I have no...
Yeah.
Now, this mountainside hex here does block fire from these two guys. But
Right.
these two guys are clear.
Yeah.
Now, it depends on who you want to shoot at. The trained loyalists are on the flank. They don't get the brace bonus. The loyalists in the center have a lower resilience, but they go up to 4 because they have
Right.
guys in line formation on either wing.
Let's go ahead and train on the trained loyalists.
All right, cool. So the target number is 4. Either way, the target number is 4. But at least here you knock down a good unit instead of a bad unit.
All right, so I get 2 dice.
You get 2 raw militias. Yep, so that's 2 total dice against a 4-up.
Okay. 5 and a 3.
As 1 hit, that is going to be shaken. He falls back. You gotta have the white musket smoke, man. Come on.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think these guys have any targets. These riflemen have many targets.
Right.
They have to scrape past woods hikes, but they get to shoot into, oh man, shaken raw loyalists. If they want.
Let's hit them.
Okay.
I don't think they have line of sight on 2814, do they? Because they're in the woods,
because
right?
the woods isn't the problem. It's this elevation hex here. Again,
Yeah, because
shooting
they're down
over
below the elevation.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Raw militia cannot help. They're not in range. Veteran militia can help if they want. So this unit and
Yes,
that
veteran
unit.
and rifles are going to fire.
1, 2. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 total dice, and then shaken militia.
Can the riflemen right behind them fire as well, or are
1,
they
2,
blocked?
3. No, they are not. Good question. Friendly infantry never block against small arms. You're able to shoot through your own units with small arms. Just the only things you can't
Okay.
do that with is artillery. There's no artillery in this game. So yeah, but he's only gonna have 1 dice, but that's one more dice.
It's 1 more than nothing.
That's
so
4
let's do it.
total. Now, are you shooting at the raw militia in the center that is shaken, but they get a +1 bonus for braced, or the raw militia on the flank, which are not? It's 3 either way.
Now, let me ask you this. Can you
Okay.
divide fire?
Yes.
So if I have the 2... So if I have 2 riflemen shoot at the shaken unit and the other militia shoot at the other unit.
Yep.
Let's do that.
I already said you could, but yes. Do you want to put 1 rifleman on each one? I forgot these guys don't have a ranged attack. Veteran
Yes.
militia don't. I got them confused with continentals. So that second number is a 0. That's my fault. So this guy has 2 points into the shaken one, 1 point into the non-shaken one.
Yeah.
I was mistaken when I said this guy could help. I was incorrect about that. That's my fault. Okay, so either way, you get a -1 for a -1 bonus to my resilience because of riflemen. So 2 dice against 2 up.
2 up?
No.
2 dice, 2 up.
2 dice against 1 up.
2 dice against 1 up.
Yeah, 3 dice. No, it's a 3 -1 for shaken, -1 for rifle fire. So the number is a 1. You have
Okay,
to.
I gotta beat a 1.
You have to beat a 1. Yes.
Okay. All right, I got a 3 and a 1.
3 and a 1. That is routed because the 1 is still a miss. Oh no. Turns around into line formation and 1, 2. And he's no longer shaken. He is now routed. Okay. Now this other guy's a long range shot. 1 against target of 2. Not shaken, but rifle fire still reduces him to a 2.
So I'm sorry, I need a 2
Yep.
on 1 dice.
Yep.
Okay. A 5.
He is shaken. He will fall back 1 hex. Oh boy. Alright. So he's here facing this way.
Uh-huh.
When he is shaken, he has to move exactly 1 hex backward. Now, because he's facing this way, his two backward hexes are this one and this one. This one is illegal because it is overstacked. This one is illegal because I'm moving closer to the enemy. So when that happens, and this is a rule that's already written, when you are shaken and you cannot do your shaken movement, you're considered destroyed.
Okay.
That has happened to me many times. This is why it's beneficial to start surrounding the enemy, is you take away his shaken hexes, his fallback hexes. Alrighty, so that was cool. Okay, I'm not sure there's too much other fire.
There is no other fire that I can see.
Okay, awesome. We'll then go to movement. Oh, sorry. Potential commander fire, potential commander fire. So Ferguson,
okay.
2d6.
A 1 and a 2.
Oh, that was so close. Snake Eyes kills him. Boxcars wounds him. You almost just killed Ferguson.
All right.
Okay.
The other
the Pester?
4 and 2.
Okay, he's fine. Yeah, there's only 2 crown commanders on the field. Okay, we go to your movement phase.
Okay. So the rifleman shot.
2 of them did. You got 1 that did not.
2. That one's gonna go ahead and move up. It's max. If
1,
you can.
2, 3, like so.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and move the other 2, the veteran militia, up onto the hill, please. The ones in 26, 12, and 13.
26, 12. Oh, these 2.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
And then
I think we got these
let's
2
go.
guys.
Yeah, let's move. Let's move to. Is that a raw militia and a veteran militia?
Yep, 1 of each.
All right, let's move the veteran militia into 2714.
Oh, 27.
Nope, down 1. Yep, perfect. And then move the raw up into 2713.
Does it matter where they are in relation to those riflemen?
No.
Okay. Either way, they would get the flank bonus, or the brace
Right.
bonus. Okay. Your commanders are staying put where they are?
They are. They're still within command range.
Oh,
so.
yeah, totally.
Can Cleveland move?
Yes.
Can
But
they
if he-
move up? Go ahead.
If he moves further than 2 X's away from this unit, he can't rally. So he's got to stay within
No,
2
I was just
hex.
going to move him up to 2510, 12. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a problem.
Okay.
All right.
And that's all I can move now. There's no charges, no melee at this point. So it's rally phase.
Yep. So this guy here needs a 3 down.
Okay. 5.
Okay. This guy needs a 4 down. Oh, but that's my shaken unit. Sorry. This guy needs a 4 down.
4 down?
Yep.
2.
Cool. He made it. And the rest of those are mine. Cool. Loyalist turn 7. Oh no. Fire phase. This guy will take his 1 dice.
Okay.
I will take it on this guy. I get to shoot downhill. I get a +1 for that. So your whatchamacallit is becomes a 2. Your resistance becomes a 2. I get 1 dice. I have to roll a 2 up. Yeah, not a terribly organized battle. There's going to be a lot of ooh, nice. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of shaking and a lot of craziness going on. Okay, that's it for him. These guys are facing the wrong way. This guy's facing the right way, but has no. Okay, that's it for my fire. Movement. Oh wait, before I do that. 1, 2. That's it. So just Winston and Chronicle have to make rolls.
Okay.
First, Winston. Nope. Then Chronicle. Nope. Okay, now my movement. Shaken. So I'll pivot him. but I can't move closer to the enemy. Routed, I have to route them. What the deuce? I had the map selected as well. Oh my god, that's even worse. Alright, about face. And that's their movement. He's still shaking. Okay, rally phase. 4 down. Yes.
Yeah. Nice job.
Train raw loyalists up there to the northeast. 2 down. Fail. They continue to route, so that's it for them. Because next turn they're going to route 2 more hexes, and now they're out of command. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove them. And the last one, oh no, I have these 2 guys down here. All right, so this guy here in 28-14. Nope, 20 or 30-15. Oh man, of all the time to roll 6s. Nice. Okay, that's it for my turn. Yeah, at this point it's almost like mop up. It's if I can force a draw by killing 1 more unit, but I doubt it. We will see what happens. Okay, over to you for Patriots. I'm assuming no formation changes?
No, sir.
Cool. Ferguson is going down to rifles would be ironic. It almost happened. He rolled a 3 instead of a 2. He was within 1 digit of shooting Ferguson dead out of his horse. Rasmus, it almost happened. At least the route is not cascading to the hex he ran through. Yeah, sometimes it's almost better to be routed in a weird kind of way, and that's actually deliberate. So shaken, you fall back 1, routed, you move back 2, and if there's not an enemy unit right behind you, again, when you route, you break formation, and it's like water pouring through a drain. As far as that, if there's a line unit behind you, if it's 2 line units trying to occupy and overstack, that's where you have to start knocking off units. But the routed unit is like smoke. They're just in a panic. So it's almost a good news, bad news situation. I mean, it's always better to be shaken than routed, but once in a while there's a little bit of silver lining to being routed. Your routed troops don't get in the way of the rest of your army. That particularly happens in bigger battles. This battle, I would rather be shaken than routed. Trust me. Okay, Mr. Bill, we're looking at your combat phase then, of which, holy crap, you have many.
Let's go ahead and we're gonna take combat into 28-14, where your shaken troops are.
Okay. Right.
Yep.
Now you've got 3. Actually, you've got 3 units that can shoot in there. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5, if you wanted to get serious.
Well, let me ask you this. What can shoot at your loyalist in 29-12? What has range or line of sight?
Oh, they're on the back side of a tall mountain, so pretty much just 1, 2, 3. Because this hex, what number is it?
Well, can these
27-12
shoot at them?
No. Wait a minute. No.
The riflemen in 27, what is that? 13?
Oh,
right there.
1. No, they don't have arc. So they're in that hex. Their arc is these hexes. So they're out of arc. They can see them because
no, the trained loyalist on 29-12.
Oh yeah, they that rifleman unit can totally hit that trained loyalist. Yes.
All right.
Yes, with 2 dice.
So what I'd like to do is take the riflemen.
Okay.
And put them on those. So can the riflemen in 26-13 hit on them as well?
26-13.
They'll only have 1 dice, but they're 3 out.
No, because they're blocked by this elevating the top of the hill between them. So the second guy, no, but this guy, yes.
Okay, well, let's keep that rifleman out of this fray.
Right.
Let's do that one first. Let's just do the uncomplicated one first.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and have my rifleman take on your trained loyalists.
All right, so that's rifleman in hex. Yeah, this rifleman unit here.
Yes.
Cool. Has 2 dice, because he gets extended range, 2 dice against these trained loyalists. Your target number is a 4 up. 2 dice.
4 up on 2 dice.
Yep.
A 5 and a 3.
That is one success, one hit. They are now shaken. They have to fall back into one of these two hexes. I'll make it this one. Okay, that's him fired.
Alright, so let's go ahead and take on the units. They're in 2814. So,
yep.
Our veterans are going to fire into them.
Okay, cool. Now these veterans, yeah, I know you can put in other units, but roll these veterans separately because they're going to get an easier number because they're on the flank.
Alright, let's do it one time. Go ahead.
2 dice versus trained loyalists. Your target number becomes a 3. Becomes a 4 again. I get a bonus for woods, -1 for flank. So it is, 2 dice versus a 4.
Okay.
Nope, 2 dice versus a 3. They're already shaken.
6 and a 4.
That is 2 more hits. They're already shaken. They are destroyed in place. So when you're shaken, you've already got like 1 hit on you. So 1 hit makes you routed, 2 hits make you destroyed in place. Good shooting. Kaboom! They were just starting to rally and reform the line, and then just veteran militia, Tennessee guys, just popped out of the woods next to them and just blasted those fools.
All right, so now let's same hex.
Yep.
My raw militia and my riflemen behind them.
Yep.
Can the riflemen behind them shoot at them as well?
Yeah. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 dice versus a target number of. You're also shooting downhill because I moved off the hill because stupid. So -1 for rifles, +1 for to my resilience. I mean, +1 for woods, -1 for downhill. So it's going to be 3 dice, 2 for the rifleman, 1 for the militia. 3 dice, target number of 2.
Are you kidding me? 1, 1, and 2.
Oh no! They had wet powder for a change. That is actually 1 success. That's enough to cause them to be shaken. Because again, their target number was only a 2.
Yeah.
DePester, what are you doing? If he stays with them, he's going to get separated from Ferguson. I'm going to go back to the shaken guy. The first shaken guy. Cool.
Alright, let's move on up.
Oh, lordy. A lot
my
of
veteran militia.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Now your raw militia on the side here can help. Let's roll them separately because they're going to be shooting against the penalty. These 2 guys on top will not.
Okay.
So 4 guys
total.
Raw
first.
Okay, the raw first. So it's going to be a total of 1 dice, target number of 4 because you're shooting uphill.
Okay. Here we go. 3.
Okay, so no effect. The elevation saved him. He has line of sight because he's shooting straight up the hill, but he's too far away.
Right.
These 2 guys, however, are point blank. 4 dice on veteran militia, target number of 3. 4 dice, you need a 3 up.
Okay, here we go. 6, 1, and a 2.
Okay, do you want to shake both of them or rout one of them? You got 2 successes.
Let's shake both of them.
Okay. Technically, we're kind of supposed to declare that ahead of time, but no worries. When there's more than 1 unit in the hex, it's all fine. Oh no! Come on. Just so I don't forget that they're both shaken. Cool.
I think that's everybody. I can move those riflemen in 2513.
Let me make sure there are no commanders within gunshot range. Woods. Behind the hill. Riflemen can hit Ferguson, so roll 2d6 for Ferguson.
Okay, come on, guys. 4 and a 2.
Okay, remember, riflemen can always choose to attack a commander on purpose.
Yeah.
There's a mechanic for that, but that's their attack. They can't attack, units in the same turn. Okay, so, movement phase.
So the only guys I can move right now are my riflemen because everybody else fired.
Pretty much. This is what I was saying with Dylan and other players. Battlefield Rebellion is sort of designed to be not an annihilation game, but a shoving match. So that last volley of fire pretty much shoved the Loyalists off that hillside. So you're going to take the high ground coming up.
Yep. Can we put the riflemen into 2812? Or
1, 2, 3. Yes, because they have enhanced movement.
Okay.
It took them 2 to go up that first hillside. But yep.
Okay. Can we move the other riflemen in 2513 to 2714?
2714. Yes. 1, 2, easily. Do you want them on the flank or do you want them on the inside of the line?
The flank's fine.
I don't think it really matters at this point, but
yeah.
All right.
And then the Shaken unit in 2412, can they go to 2511?
2412 can go to... No, because that takes it closer to the enemy. They have to unshake
Alright,
first.
well then I guess we'll leave them right where they're at.
Cool. If that's the case, yeah, so shaky units can change facing, they can sidestep, or they can fall back. They're allowed to move, they just can't move closer to an enemy unit. So if the shaking units don't want to move, we will go ahead, or any of your commanders.
Let's move Cleveland up to 2612.
He still has this shaking unit in his command diameter, so we can still try to rally. Alright, so who do you want to try to rally first?
Why don't we go ahead with the guys in 2412?
Cool. They need a 3 down.
A 3.
Finally.
Finally.
Come on up, crab game. It's all safe for you now. Poor Don Rickles is in the minefield. Alright, the guy up by Clark's Ford also needs a 3 down.
6.
Oh. Okay. Oh, this guy down here, we forgot about him. He rallied last turn, so he gets to move.
Let's go ahead and change facing.
Yep, that's 1 movement point. He gets 1 more.
And then just move up to 2715.
Rejoin the line. Sweet. Look at that line. Haha, bulldozer. My entire army is shaken, I think. Literally, my entire army is shaken. Well, my turn will be quick. Fire phase. Those are both raw militia, right? Or raw loyalists. So out of range, out of range. Definitely out of range. Definitely. I have no trained loyalists left. I have 1 trained loyalist left way back here. Oh no. Okay. I'm just gonna go straight to. All right. You know what? Let me use the rules to my benefit. Movement phase. That's gonna be it for my movement phase. Let me. Oh. 1, 2. I can take a shot at that rifleman up there. I have to shoot at -1 because I'm shooting uphill. So your resilience goes to a 5 because now you've taken the high ground. So I have a grand total of 2 dice against a 5. Wrong webcam. How about that? A 6 and a 5. Wow. They are routed. Nice. Wow. Back off our hill, man. We're going to run back to Kentucky. Holy crap, that was just some stupid
well, you were
dice.
You were due.
Alrighty. Given my forces and my beginning position, I'm not doing too bad. I'm 1 kill away, and I just came within a friggin' whisker of it. In fact, if I had remembered, it's too late now. They have a line of sight up that attacks as well. Trained loyalists, I have 1 dice, a 3. No, so now they fired as well. There, now I did not cheat myself. I could have, if they had all been 5-ups, I could have killed that rifleman, and boom, that's a draw. 2 Patriot units killed is a draw. Even when I get tabled, which I'm going to get tabled. That's the point. Alright, so that's going to be it for my fire phase. Enemy commanders in line of sight and line of fire are none because of range and trees and woods and hills. Cool, so over my movement phase, I've already started it. Now we go to my, my rally phase. Trained loyalists, I need a 4 down. Rallies.
Wow.
2 raw loyalists in 2912. 3 downs. 4 and 4, they both failed. Raw Loyalist needs a 4. It needs a 3 down. Succeeded. Raw Loyalist way off in the woods, need a 3 down. The Pester still has him in command radius. Also succeeds.
Nice.
Cool. That is it. We go down to turn 9. Okay, over to you for your combat phase. Well, change formation
All right.
/ combat phase.
No change in formation.
Rasmus
Well?
says, I mean it didn't cause morale checks on the unit a route is going through them. I considered that. Other games, Rasmus, like TSR's battle system does have a rule for that. I just haven't written it yet, and I don't want the game to get too complicated, to be honest. I can barely understand the rules I wrote as it is. I don't want to make it worse.
So at this point in time, I only really have one unit that can fire. That's my rifleman.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and take a pot shot at the raw militia that's already shaken.
Cool.
Yep.
2 dice at this range because of extended range versus a 1. Yeah, you have to beat a 1.
Okay. 2 and a 1. Are you freaking kidding me?
No, your dice are giving up on you. That's still enough to cause him 1 hit, and that's routed.
Yeah.
Because he was already shaken. He got -1 on his roll, guys, because of rifle fire, -1 for being shaken. Is the reason for those terrible modifiers. Again, you're shooting at basically farmers with trained like Kentucky riflemen. I mean, it's that are already scared. They're already shitting themselves. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost worried about taking a charge at this point, especially since you just routed that guy.
Yeah. Can my veterans charge you?
Totally. Because they're already on the high ground. So you don't
Let's
have to...
do it.
Yeah, because they... Okay, so they're already... You're talking about these 2 units here?
Yep, yep.
Yep. They're already on the high ground.
Can the raw militia charge as well? From the other side, coming up 2813?
1, 2, yes.
Let's do it.
1, 2. Cool. Now, who is taking that charge? Who's taking... Nobody has to take the charge in, because your raw militia are the same versus my raw loyalists, resilience-wise. You get a bonus if someone takes that charge in.
Well, let's take the veterans. One of the veterans in.
I mean,
bonus.
which commander?
Oh, which commander? I'm sorry. Let's go with Shelby.
Yeah, I was gonna say leave Cleveland where he is, so we can try to rally some people.
Yeah.
Cool. Shelby has, again, officers have a movement rate of 6. Cool. So, against their better judgment, I mean, they have to. I'm gonna take 1 dice of interruption fire. Is all I have. No line of sight. No line of. Ooh. Yes, line of sight, but only 1 dice. So it's gonna be a grand total of 2 dice. 2 dice versus. It has to be one of these guys. A 4. Shooting uphill makes it a 5. Because you're charging from high ground. This is not good. No effect. So all that opportunity fire, remind me, these 2 guys do not get to shoot on my turn. Not that those raw loyalists are still going to be there. If you kill the raw loyalists in place, you capture Ferguson. He does not get a chance to retreat. He gets to retreat with a unit that's either routing or shaking, but if you kill him in place, Ferguson is now captured. He is overrun, which I believe is what's...
that's close to what happened in real life. But,
I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My target number, it starts off at a 3, goes down to a 2 for being shaken, goes down to a 1 for infantry charge, goes down to a 0 because your commander is coming in with you. And now I'm just curious. Is there a thing for being... Where is my... Oh. Charging. Shooting downhill. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if there was a bonus for charging downhill. But it doesn't matter. My total turn, or my total number becomes like a 0 or a -1. Basically, you got 5 dice. Do not roll any 1s.
Okay,
Or try not to roll
5
1s.
dice. 4, 3, 3, 3, 2.
Okay, so the 4 and the 3 kill him, and then he gets killed again, and he gets killed again. Well, he was already shaken, so it only takes two hits to kill him.
Yep.
Yeah. So he is definitely destroyed. Never mind about being shaken, and you now capture Ferguson. Now that means, here's the thing about killing commanders. I was actually almost expecting. Okay, one unit. Okay, you now occupy the hex. One unit has to remain behind.
Okay.
So, do you want it to be the raw militia?
Yeah.
Okay. It totally makes sense to charge a hex with more than 2 units, because usually somebody gets shaken, routed, shot down, in opportunity fire, you know. But in this case, it didn't, so just one guy literally won't fit in the hex. Alright, so that was a good charge, and now with Ferguson gone, the vast majority of my army is now out of command. Because again, the only guy I have left now is the Pester. And with the Pester gone, he's routed, and he's already outside of 2 hexes, so he's basically, I'll go ahead and remove him just to make the game quick. Because he's irrecoverable at this point. I mean, technically I could send a Pester to go chase him down, but now these guys are out of command, so I wouldn't do that. Okay, so that's gonna be that. No enemy commander is within gunfire radius, because there's only one commander left now. Rallies. Oh, I'm sorry. Other movement. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right. The south side of the map.
Yep.
Those guys right there. The veteran militia. Can they charge into 29-14?
The veteran militia, can they charge?
And 27 and 27-15. Can they charge into 29-14?
Normally, no, but in this game, yes, because we specified that woods do not slow you down. So normally it would be 1-2, and then you can't, but again, we said special rule earlier that woods are not affecting anybody's movement. 1-2, you can reach the enemy hex.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be 1 dice against a 5. Oh, those are all veteran militia? Oh, there's riflemen in there too. Oh my god. Okay.
The riflemen can't melee though, right?
Yeah, so the riflemen might want to hang back if they want.
Yeah, no, I wanted those to hang back. Because I think they fired, didn't they, Jim?
No, because they were in the woods. They were here in Hex 2714.
Right. The smoke's confusing me who's fired and who hasn't, so it's hard to... Okay, yeah, let's have the 2 veterans go in there and charge.
1 dice against a 4, actually against a 5, because you'll be in woods.
McDowell go with them?
Yes. The woods saved you from being shaken, because your target number goes up to a 5. McDowell, hell yeah. The main Patriot commander in this part of the war at the time was his older brother, Charles McDowell. Okay, so he's doing his brother proud at the moment. So I took my opportunity fire, no effect. That means that your charge damage happens before my charge damage. Hold on, I got a better charge marker for that. See, I have to have charge going in both ways so that it always is up right side up, no matter which way the charge is going. That's quality of service here on the Sitrep Podcast. 4 dice versus a target number of 3 becomes 4 because of woods, goes back down to a 3 because of charge, infantry charge. Cavalry charge is -2. Goes back down to a 3, goes down to a 2 because McDowell's with him, is 4 dice, and you need a 2 up to do a point of damage.
Okay, 2 ups on 4 dice.
Yep.
I have a 5, a 4, a 1, and a 5.
So that is 3 successes destroyed in place. And that means the Pester goes with you. Now the entire enemy force is out of command. Battle's over. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, well, because now my guys literally have no commander. My entire army is out of command. You've killed both my commanders. You destroyed the enemy in place, which means that they did not get a chance to be shaken or routed. So that enemy commander, the last one, does not have a chance to withdraw with his troops. His troops never withdrawed. They died right there. So he got captured. Actually, we want to get formal. Again, this has nothing to do with the game's overall. Oh, come on. Shaken or routed units. Friendly commanders may rout or backstep with units at the player option. There is a rule for this, damn it. Commanders. Commanders can always enter adverse terrain. Okay. Friendly commanders can also be killed or captured if they are stacked with friendly units engaged in melee combat, and all friendly units in that hex are destroyed. In such cases, roll a d6. Odds commander is killed, evens commander is captured. So roll a d6, please, for Ferguson.
4.
He was captured this time. He did not die. And then roll for Depater.
3.
Depater was killed. So the opposite of what actually happened. Depater was captured, and Ferguson was killed. So historically, what happened was Ferguson saw which way the wind was blowing. This is pretty much like the end of the game for him. He was like, oh shit. So he kind of charged almost by himself. He was shot out of his saddle, and then his boot was caught in the stirrup, and his horse panicked and was dragging him down the mountain. So he's already been shot, and then he's being dragged by his horse into the Patriot lines, or the Patriot, formation, whatever, again, militia forces. Formation's a strong word. And then the horse finally stopped. The Patriots came toward him, asked him to surrender, and in a last act of defiance, he drew his pistol and shot the first Patriot dead. And between that act of defiance and the rage and anger that was already there from the Battle of Camden and the Waxhaws Massacre, they shot... I think they recovered 8 musket balls out of Ferguson. They shot him literally to pieces. And report says that some militiamen then dropped their trousers and urinated on his corpse. They were not very happy with my boy Ferguson at the end of this battle. And that's when my boy Ben Cleveland walks up and he says, hey, that boy Ferguson, he had a really nice, pretty white horse. So that's when he actually takes his horse, his white horse. It's a gorgeous white, almost like Robert E. Lee's horse. And that's when Ben Cleveland goes from a brown horse to a white horse. There's a great, I think it's Don Troiani is the big battlefield historian artist that we have here in the States. If you've ever seen any of his work, he's probably the best American historical artist we have. He's got a great painting called War Prize, is the actual name of the painting, where it shows Ben Cleveland riding down Kings Mountain on a beautiful white horse. So, that's the end of that. So, the Patriots have tabled the Loyalists as required. I have only managed to kill 1 enemy unit, which is actually not too bad. But that equals a narrow Patriot tactical victory. I came close with those riflemen.
Yeah, you did.
You came within 1 pip of getting a draw. But that's okay. Cool. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, what do you think? How do you think this went as compared to, like again, you've been to the battlefield, the historical outcome of Kings Mountain and so on?
I mean, versus just everybody going up the sides of the mountain and just charging, falling back, charging. Basically what they did is they charged and fell back trying to draw the British off the top of the mountain, engaged them in woodland combat, and then just kept on going back and forth. I just decided I was going to push from the narrow to the wide and see if we could push you up the hill and take the height advantage and go from there. So
yeah, the game does sort of start to reward that as far as, do the British charge down into the woods? Well, number one, I did. That's how I got my 1 Patriot kill. But at the same time, now the most of my army has now given up the elevation, especially that last part where your riflemen are on high ground shooting down off of high ground. That's just death. Riflemen on high ground is, I mean, I got lucky with that routed, but other than that, gee whiz, it was pretty scary. Yeah, it was actually a little simpler in historical. They pretty much just attacked the hill from almost every direction, um, and pretty much imploded it like a balloon. They did collapse this first part first, and they managed to fall back, and then they formed like a second ring here, and then they just got squeezed like a grape. And then again, once Ferguson went down, that was pretty much it. There was a little bit of shoving back and forth. We saw Patriot riflemen scoring a lot of kills, and then when they would try to charge up the hill, the Loyalists would drive them back down the hill because the Loyalists had some guys actually trained in bayonet combat, and everybody had a bayonet. And again, the bad thing about rifles, there's no bayonet, and vice versa. So there was a little bit of give and take there. Light Horse Harry Lee, I think that's Robert E. Lee's grandfather, did some writing on Kings Mountain, and the quote he gave was, "It was more assailable to the rifle than defensible by the bayonet." So both sides had their advantage, but the Patriot advantage was just bigger, and of course they wound up winning a pretty startling victory here, which, as far as campaign rules go, was badly needed. Because again, Savannah, followed by Charleston, followed by Camden, followed by Waxhaws. It was just a lot of defeats. After this, things would kind of settle down a little bit into the winter of 1780 to 81. And then the real victory, much bigger than Kings Mountain and against formal troops of Tarleton's Tory Legion, takes place at the Battle of Cowpens. 17 January, I think, 1781. And that's what really puts Cornwallis on the back foot. Cornwallis starts marching back and back and back. Guilford Courthouse, there's a few more draws here and there. Guilford Courthouse is where you get the Cornwallis cannon rule in a lot of American Revolutionary War games, where can British troops fire grape shot on their own troops? It's actually technically possible, sometimes required. And again, as you can see here, by now Green's in charge, one of the better American Revolutionary War generals. He just starts marching them back. And Green's not pushing them back. Green is reaching out, hitting Cornwallis, and then retreating. He's fighting tactically linear warfare, but operationally guerrilla warfare. He reaches out, he fights him, he gets beat up, he falls back, he fights again. In fact, that's almost a direct Nathaniel Green quote. And he's just drawing him back, because he knows that sooner or later Washington is coming down from New Jersey and New York, and they're all going to meet up at a little place we call Yorktown. And that's it. That's the end game right there. So there was a plan, and Kings Mountain played an important role in getting that plan started, or at least turning things around so that this plan could get started. I think is the real significance of Kings Mountain.
It was more than a tactical victory. It's a morale victory for
absolutely.
The colonists. You know, they needed a win, whether big or small. They needed one, and that's what they got. So
it's almost the Trenton of the South. Yeah. You have a Patriot army, or I should say a Loyalist, a Crown army. I'll say a Crown army completely tabled, just like the Hessians at Trenton. And whether or not it scored that, it changed the scales that much. Strategically, it definitely helped, psychologically, for damn sure. Because again, South Carolina was just one string of defeats, and bad ones.
Yep.
Not even just like, oh, we lost the battle here, we lost the battle there. Bad ones. Waxhaw's massacre was a complete slaughter, like guys trying to surrender, bayoneted to death. Savannah, largest surrender of American troops in the Revolution. We lost like 5,000 people there. Charleston was just as bad. Charleston nowadays isn't that big of a city. At the time, I think Charleston was the 4th largest city in the United States. So losing Charleston was like, you just lost the South. Atlanta, Georgia didn't exist then. There's nothing out here. Like, here's where Atlanta is nowadays. Charleston was the South. And once they lost Charleston, that was it.